room like this nigga.
That's why I said graded, man.
Man, yeah, they had to hit me with the breathing tube to open up my lungs. I went to anaphylactic. Anaphylactic shock is when your windpipe and shit close up. You. So they had to put a tube down your throat.
Yeah, that's when the motherfucker gonna tell me, yeah, man, Chico in surgery. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up.
No, so I had to put a tube down your shit and open that bitch
Open it back up, yeah.
You alert.
Damn, over a pretzel.
One piece of pretzels now. That's it. And that's all it takes. So like I said, for me, it's different. Now I got growing up with food allergy, Slim. Like it's so much shit I ain't never had. Niggas be like, nigga, you ain't never had a Reese's, nigga? Right. No.
You ain't missing shit.
Yeah,
you ain't never had a Snickers? No, nigga.
They delicious little motherfucker, but you ain't missing.
No, they not. You'll be singing it so hard to say
goodbye.
goodbye. Right, you know what I mean? It's so hard to say goodbye, nigga. Hell nah. Fuck that.
Fuck them peanut butter cups.
Nah, nigga. Fuck peanut butter in general, nigga. I'm beefing with that motherfucker. Nah,
you can't even fuck with peanut butter brown women.
No, that's different. That's different. I don't even know why you would just do that like that.
It hit my mind.
I about to say, you gonna fuck with white women? That's crazy.
No, I don't do that.
Oh, that's nuts too.
You gotta be the chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
That's nuts.
Oreo. That's all.
Not the peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah, I can do that. You know what I mean?
J.O.N., I think it's time for you to play us some pimping, man.
Uh-oh.
That's
That's what he like.
Yeah, he was. Whole time we been talking, that nigga
That's
been over that motherfucker like. The whole time we been talking, that nigga been like, this nigga don't respect me. I'm about to drop this Zoom on this nigga.
What's that? That's that Commodore sample.
Commodore Zoom. Oh,
John
yeah.
316.
That's my shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's back when Lionel Richie had the streets on lock.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that nigga was the coldest.
You feel me?
You killed that shit.
That's the type of shit we be on over here, man. We just be vibing and shit, just trapped out.
Come on. Get it in.
I'm saying y'all doing it for Mini Moon.
Come on.
Oh yeah. We've been doing this podcast shit before niggas knew what a podcast was.
Fact.
We really kind of defined what it was, for urban podcasts, because there wasn't a whole lot of people out here.
And everybody else just follows suit.
Come on.
It's like, and get in where you fit in.
Nigga wants
There's a need. Black people have voices and we need to discuss certain topics in certain capacities.
Nigga wants next year.
We need some niggas like us who gonna talk that shit and bring it real. Then we need some niggas out here giving bad relationship advice. Then we need some ladies giving their point of view on niggas giving bad relationship advice. Then we need some niggas and some women giving collective bad advice.
Right.
Then we gotta see some people who spiritually uplift us.
Right.
Some black positivity. Some motherfuckers who entertain us. Some people who gonna tell us how to eat better and get this money. It's all type of lanes that black people need to be in, and we in ours.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's why we can move and do what we want to do, because we ain't worried about what nobody else doing.
Yeah.
Hey, it's enough for everybody to get some.
Guide everybody had to start.
Yes, in certain ways.
But
But we gotta bring the integrity back, and we gotta make sure that everybody got the resources that they need to be successful.
Come on.
And that's the whole point of this platform right here. That's why we don't just be bringing everybody through here, and we really focus right now on bringing nothing but ghetto legends. Now people felt like the people said you supposed to been here.
Who started?
And then we look up and I see you doing all these other podcasts, and I took that personal and I hit you and I said, Nick,
He did take it personal.
don't go on nobody else shit without coming to the trap.
He called me 1 o'clock in the morning. You see this shit?
Do you see this shit?
I'm like, bro, my eyes closed. What you talking about?
I'm like, he must be doing a favor for somebody, because we really know this nigga.
Come on.
Hey, I told you, I've been trying to get over here. First of all, this shit is in the trap. Y'all nigga, it took me, over an hour to get to this.
Ain't nobody tell you to be way the fuck out there where you at.
No.
Where we at?
Where
Way
you
the
work?
fuck out there. We definitely way the fuck out there. You know what I mean?
Y'all
Where we
out there
shoot
with
that.
Bubba fuck.
Where all the way.
Ain't no way they charge you to go way out there. They had to ask you for a favor, because that's fucking far.
Nigga, it's far.
What happened to Tyler Perry, man? We ain't shooting that Tyler Perry.
Nigga, that's the most popular motherfucking studio to shoot at in Atlanta. This motherfuckers is booked up for years.
Shit.
Marvel and all of them motherfuckers shoot over there. Tyler, I talked to Tyler, that nigga said, nigga, I can't even shoot my own shows over here.
We can't do Central Stage no more?
Center stage.
Center Stage?
Yeah, that wasn't big enough. And then, they have venues, so they got shows and shit, like, you gotta block that shit out for a month. That shit.
That was the latest We were talking about that shit the other day. I said
We had a whole fucking club in that
we
fucking
had
green
a
room.
party after every episode. That shit was like a
I used
club,
to do
boy.
that shit too. I just liabilities. It's just like I was
That
like
shit
it wasn't
started
worth
happening.
it. Yeah.
And then niggas started them stories.
Not that particular year.
I mean, I'm just saying in general. You know what I mean? Like
all it takes is
all
one
the different
motherfucker to
shit.
do something.
It
they ain't
was,
supposed to be
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
All the way.
But if you want to be technical, that was the latest. Oh my lord.
I don't know. Nah, I don't
Y'all
know.
niggas ain't been around.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
That's the
can't
most
say.
that
I can't say.
Young niggas.
After,
You
well,
know,
no.
did every last one of them.
Yeah, well, I say since
That's
they
what I'm
came
saying. I
back.
don't know about the old shit.
Nah, but that don't even count.
Wasn't
man.
nobody there to watch them.
We was in high school.
Y'all
Man,
niggas
that
was
shit-
children.
All right, well,
Yeah.
fuck it then. Without
Yeah.
further ado, we got a very special ghetto legend in here with us today.
Yeah.
He got a long list of credits. He has
Long
literally
list.
done everything that a nigga can do in life.
Right.
This man has an amazing life. He has at least 30 jobs.
Right.
Very entertaining.
Right.
It gave all us the opportunity to be better niggas.
Right.
So it's an honor and a privilege to have none other than
Then who?
Nick Cannon and the Trap.
Candy.
Yeah.
Stand up for this nigga, man. Stand up for this nigga, man. All the way. All the way, man.
Man,
All
it's
the way.
about fucking time.
God damn, OG, you
Right.
I told y'all was coming.
And you know
we
what-
would leave work together to come
That's
here.
what we just did today.
Yeah, I asked him, we was on set, you know what I mean? We was walking off at the last show. I said, Nick, man, when you come to do the podcast? He was like, man, let's do it. Let's shut it up. Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's what I've been telling
You know, when a
Now,
nigga
Nick,
get the
Nick.
high-pitched voice, you know this nigga. When he get the high-pitched voice, I'm like, oh, he really coming. He's like,
Come on, man.
First of all, you don't have shit to worry about on the 85 South Show. Every time you go on the podcast, you say some crazy shit that gets the internet all riled up.
I'm probably gonna say some crazy shit here too.
All right, well, fuck it. That's on you.
We gonna go viral.
It's on you.
That's what we do, man.
This suit loud as hell.
Yeah, you know I'm loud. That's why I don't give a fuck. I ain't never
Why
give
did you
a
wear
fuck.
them shades? I just want to. God damn, OG, please, man.
You don't like my shit?
I do, because I gotta go to work tomorrow. But why the hell you wear them shades? You wear a lot of shades, but them.
These are
Are your favorites.
my YSLs. I love these shits, but I'm gonna tell you because it's like when it's Clark Kent and Superman.
Right.
Like this is really the low key look. This is I gotta be up at 5 a.m. This is late at night, turban, star shades, but I look different when I get paid millions of dollars on TV.
Facts.
So this is just the cover up shit. Where I
You
just
wear
be
them on
chilling.
TV too.
But when you don't see me with glasses on, that's when I'm getting paid the most. When you
Okay.
see
So
me
when you
with
got
this
glasses
shit-
on, that means you don't really
Yeah,
want
this
to
the
do it.
mascot. This
You only,
keep the bag.
you
and
only
keep
can
it
see
together.
my eyes when you giving me millions of
There
dollars.
it is.
That's how Eddie
The
Murphy
rest
is.
of you niggas is under
I just be-
suspicion. Nigga, I don't know who this is I'm talking to.
I might be asleep under these
That's
motherfuckers.
But see, that's the thing. Like, we didn't, it's so crazy to have you here, man. Because, like I said, we came in this shit a decade ago. Like, and we was,
crazy.
like, me and Los talk all the time, like, just about that position that we was in and just in life at that time. Niggas
Right.
was broke. I'm talking about just broke, bro. I'm
I remember.
sending $50, $60 home and shit. Like, so for you being a person that, like you said, gave us the opportunity to be better niggas, like, was that your intention for the
man.
whole time, or was it just like something that you just was doing because, like you said, you a nigga that know how to get millions of dollars on television?
Nah, that's where I built the platform to give niggas opportunities. Like even when the early seasons when it was Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, D-Ray, Afion, like I was just to be like, look, I was doing movies and music and shit, and I had the relationship at Viacom, so I just was like, yo, let me create something to put the squad on, and it started working. So it was, even by the time y'all came around, it was, that's the MO, you know what I mean? Like we just gotta make sure, and we were just keeping our eye out for cats who, really had the sauce and really had the work ethic but I mean, look what y'all built. Y'all built, you know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of it all. When you say, yo, it's a lot out there to go get, and motherfuckers really pay attention and go get it. that's what it's here for.
But the thing is though, like you had the show and it went away, and you didn't have a necessity to bring it back. You didn't need it. So what? That's what I'm saying as far as what made you want to bring like the go that route again.
Yeah, man, I was at the crib. I was married. I was chilling. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. I had to start because I started paying attention to the battle rap world, and I would see cats like Khan and Clips and Hitman, and I just became a fan of it. And I was like, yo, that's really what we used to do on Wild 'N Out, but they took it and really just culturified it all the way and took it to a whole new level with the level of talent and even how authentic and grimy it was. I mean, obviously niggas been battle rapping since, you know, the Cold Crush Brothers and Kool Moe Dee and all, you know, Treacherous 3, but when we put it out there in the earlier seasons of Wild 'N Out, we made it fun, and you know, it was me and Kanye, and you know, like it was really on some like paying homage to like the backpack type shit, and then they took battle rap culture and like turned it into something, and then shit after that, I was like, yo, I should do this again with a whole new generation, and I was inspired by that. I was like, if I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna flip it like this, and I was running the teen division at Nickelodeon at the time, so I was already over there. And even at one point, I was thinking like, let me just do like a Wild 'N Out for teenagers or for kids, like on some more educational type stuff. So then I kind of stopped developing that, and I was like, I'm gonna just bring it back. And
thank God.
Yeah.
Exactly. Boy, appreciate you for that, nigga.
Yeah.
God damn.
And then that's what we did. We brought that shit back. I mean, shit.
But see, I
and
like-
y'all two was on, you know, the first iteration, and then.
Yeah,
You know.
2 T-shirts.
Yeah.
Two t-shirt, the 25-cent bag of chips.
Yeah.
But you know what though, like now being there and being, you know, one of the, well, how many of us left? It's just me, you,
Like 5.
E-Man,
And
and
Khan,
Khan.
right?
From that
That's
from
it.
that original season 5.
How many people was that? 4?
Yeah, it's 4. It's only 4 of us. From that
Shit, it was.
original
Well, last time we took a picture, it was more than 4 people. Motherfuckers, this just be disappearing.
there, but it's like that process then, like I use that as an example all the time because that was like gladiator school.
Hell yeah.
In regards to the time that we came in, it's like it's different now because you know the platform has grown and it took on a life of its own. But when we came in, Corey and them niggas was like, nigga, fuck is this nigga, nigga? And you had to prove yourself in a way to where it wasn't no writers, it wasn't nobody to help you. It was just.
Niggas and comedians was looking at y'all like, from like, especially like Spanky and
Yo, you remember that
hated
shit?
y'all niggas.
Yeah, I mean, for real, bro. Like, it was crazy.
They really didn't fuck with y'all niggas?
Nah, they was like, man, who are these niggas?
Yeah, I wouldn't say, not in front of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but their opinion never mattered. If you really gonna gauge what you about to do off what a nigga like that say, that ain't never been my MO.
Right.
But
Them niggas ain't never impressed me.
This nigga here. And then this nigga came in and took their whole energy and started doing the same shit. He hate all the new niggas too.
But who was there to like?
Right.
You can't name a nigga in there that I was wrong about.
Nigga, you don't like nobody.
Nigga, they not likable people. You just be you found a random nigga with a towel on his head.
That nigga he was,
Guru
No, he
Banker?
wasn't.
yes, he was.
He was
Before
terrible.
It was called TikTok. It was called Musically.
Hey man, you should have
You
left
talking
his
about
ass
Guru
on that
Banker?
app. I tell you that.
I talking about what? It was a kid. He was a young boy. I
don't know what the fuck
nigga
it was.
told, I forgot what his name was. But when he
Who the one
told
that you
E-Man,
remember?
Oh, the Christian. That was the nigga there.
Do you see how you don't even remember the nigga name? That's what I'm talking about. You should have left his ass on that app.
Nigga, Los
Well, I'm glad he came from
Your
on the
whole
goddamn
personality
app.
is tying a towel around your head.
Hey, that nigga was, and now he used to do some weird shit. He used to like put his legs behind his head.
Why are you impressed by shit like that?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. This nigga is an asshole, bro. Like
That
this
should not,
nigga.
no, fuck that. That should not be enough to be on Wild 'N Out.
No, you gotta understand. This nigga, I learned the first workshop how much of an asshole this nigga was at his core. Like people see the nigga, that glass and shit, like whoever up under there, that's who that nigga really is. Like nigga, we in the workshop the first day. We walking around and shit, or everybody walking around. This nigga got a shocker You see how he laughed like a Batman villain?
Like
This
shocking motherfuckers?
Bruh, nigga was trying to
a
play.
game,
He was trying to play a game where you sit in a death row electric chair,
Right.
And you
wrap a
gotta rap.
dog collar around your neck, nigga,
And if you
you
fuck
fuck up the rap, they shock your neck. I'm like, bro, what the fuck did I sign up for? I don't know if I want to make it this bad. This thing,
That
like,
shit was funny as fuck.
see,
Why they ain't go through with it?
Cause
It's a
the
shock.
standards and practice, they didn't want niggas to get hurt and shit like that.
I'm glad you found me on the app. I remember my audition. He said, shit, just do something.
It was funny.
I'm like, what you want me to do? He's like, I don't know,
what-
nigga, do something. I'm like, shit.
Everyone ain't gonna be gold. There's some fool's gold out
This
there.
nigga was already proven by the time he got on Wild.
But nobody gave me a shot like how he said. He said, I remember it was you, Nah, and Shelby
Yeah.
at Atlanta Comedy Theater, nigga. And they was in the, Nah giving his producer look, Shelby just being Shelby.
Bro, I
And he
didn't
was
even-
like, oh, yeah, but just do something.
I didn't even have a Wildin' Out audition.
Niggas
I just
outside talking shit about.
Outside.
Like, who is this nigga in the motherfucking old school talking shit about niggas? Bring that nigga inside. And that's what we got.
That's
why
great.
It's still the same niggas to this day.
I met this nigga.
That's how you got your shot.
2 years before.
Going in here doing all this.
Man, all y'all niggas is terrible.
He
You
told
don't
everybody
do
in line they was
comedy.
terrible.
You ugly. They don't like you. You too old. I was on them niggas' ass.
Listen, I done met this nigga 2 years before Wild 'N Out even came back. He was
Fact.
doing a Fresh Faces of Comedy show
Yep.
in New York at Gotham Comedy Club, and Dolly was working with him at the
Him,
time.
Pete Davidson.
Me, Pete, and all us came
You
and
already knew Pete.
yeah, I've been new Pete, you know what I mean? But I came to do the show, and when I came in to do the show, the white man that owned the club was like, yeah, I don't know who you are, bro. So you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck type shit is this?
Right.
Bro,
So
one day Pete sent me a message, said, man, I would call you, but I don't have a phone.
Recently,
That was the last time I talked to him.
He said I would call you, but I don't have a phone.
He damn sure said it.
Why the
That's
fuck he
cra-
said it?
I don't know, but, I didn't even know if I should respond.
or if he was gonna get it, yeah, I feel you.
I don't know what he sent it on.
Right.
But so I nervous as a motherfucker, right? So I'm like, man, everything that I thought I was ready to say, this man just told me I can't say.
Right.
So I go outside. My creative process always, I duck off, talk to myself. So I'm outside walking around in a circle talking to myself. This nigga pull up, him and Dorian, pull up, see me outside talking to myself, just look like, New York. Walk right in. I go on stage, do my set, I come off, he stopped me and say, hey man, you just was outside making all that shit you just talked about up just now, wasn't you? Because I just was talking about what just happened.
Right.
Like I got on stage and talked about the white man telling me I couldn't do my jokes and
You let a white man tell you couldn't
I
do your
didn't know
joke?
no better. I didn't
Boy,
know no
y'all
better.
niggas
No,
disappoint me. I don't want to interrupt
I've
that
been doing
fucking
comedy
story.
for 2 years
I don't
at
give a
that time.
fuck.
And I'm going up to New York for the first time, not doing this. This nigga here, boy.
This boy, that
This
crazy.
nigga here is
Man, what type of shit is that?
Gargamel off the
That's
Smurfs,
the
my
first
nigga.
shit you should have said.
That's what I said when I got on stage.
You should have said everything he told you not to say. That would have you would have ripped that motherfucker.
It's so talented, and that's what I recognize. The nigga,
Yeah, he stopped
nigga
off.
freestyled and rocked that motherfucker.
Man, he let a white man tell him not to.
He ain't gonna let that go.
I mean, it's at least
Boy
I.
from
The
Mississippi, that
motherfucker
hurt.
might have been Puerto Rican.
That
He might
shit
have-
hurt.
Whatever. No, he
You
was
let
a
nobody
he
tell
was
you
a white
what
man.
not to say.
See, like I said, I'm
Everybody
still
ain't like
learning.
you.
I'm
Man,
learning the
How the
comedy
fuck you
game.
gonna be a comedian and you weren't prepared for this shit all week and then the motherfucker say, hey,
Nigga's brilliant.
don't
Nigga,
say that. And
I
then you
like I
That one got
said,
a job, though.
this nigga acting like a nigga, like a white man told me not to say nothing
The boy
last
from
weekend.
Mississippi.
Nigga, I was in 2010.
He see
I was
everybody
doing
white. He
open
be like,
mics
I
in
should
Greensboro, North
Like,
Carolina.
I
Nigga.
order.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What the fuck is wrong with you?
And he just wanted the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, and I came up and did the shit, nigga. I get off stage, Nick was like, man, was you just making all that up? I was like, yeah, man. He said, man, keep doing that. I'm around some of the best in the game. They can't do what you just did. And then we went to, I don't know if you remember this, we went to Six Flags the next day.
Yeah,
we went
Dolly
to,
was crying. And
yeah,
shit.
we went to Six Flags the
She
next
was
day.
scared of roller coasters.
Yeah, she was scared of roller coasters. Nigga made her get on a roller coaster. It's an asshole, bro. I've seen this nigga at his core. So,
You a terrible
I'm-
person like that?
I'm
Nigga,
watching
just
like
like
nigga.
you made me eat a fish.
What you mean? Just like me.
Yeah.
I ain't no.
You terrible, nigga. Nigga just called you Gargamel.
I can't even. I don't want to hear that shit. He got a white man talking about this shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm evil.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm watching you at that time. Mind you, I'm all the way nobody. I'm just a nigga that's with a nigga that's with a nigga at that time.
With too many niggas.
No, it was I was the last nigga. I'm with the assistant of the assistant, nigga. I'm like, ooh,
Ain't
I'm
no
just-
seat, stand
let me stay back here so I don't overstay my welcome. I don't want to, do too much. So I'm watching him just as observing, and I'm seeing him go, he VIP and everybody, they yelling on the speaker, don't hang over the rails, and people going crazy trying to take pictures and shit. And I'm looking like, man, this is what success looks like in this game.
Right.
Can I deal with this shit? And at that point I was like, yeah, nigga, I can deal with this shit. And at that point I was like, nigga, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
That is just the craziest shit I ever seen with this nigga. A white lady handed him a baby and walked off.
What?
That was before the kid.
I'm telling you, we was out somewhere and the lady just handed this nigga a baby and he was like, who the fuck baby is this?
White baby?
A white baby.
I know that pissed
And it
you
wasn't
off.
mine.
It
No,
wasn't
that
it.
pissed you off. You hand that white lady that
No,
white
that was
baby.
like, man, I didn't even know shit like this happened in America. I ain't never seen that shit before.
Where was
To
y'all
trust
at?
a black man with your baby.
Where was y'all at?
Man, it must have been on them tour shows or
When
something.
we was on
She was
tour.
a fan.
Yeah, she wasn't just coming to give me a baby, nigga.
Our latest tour was that.
That
UK.
first-
Bro, people ask me all the time, what's the joke that went too far? Like in the whole history of Wild 'N Out.
The one that went, I don't think there is one that went too far. Niggas done been talked about me dying. Niggas done talked about my baby mama. It's like, I don't
But
really give a
that's-
shit.
that's one of the things-
I got a thick skin. You can't say nothing to really offend
That's what
me.
I always give you credit for. One of the main things that I give you credit for in our journey, being, people that you gave an opportunity to. A lot of niggas that's in your position to give you the opportunity to stand back and see what you do.
Yeah.
And just let you go out and just, so a nigga not attached to it. Like, oh, he's some shit. Well, I mean, hey,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Catch you when I catch you. But you stood beside us the whole time and allowed us to use a nigga that was already a superstar.
Yeah.
And let us come up in that regard.
That- that's
And that's-
Talk about me.
That's true generational wealth. I just want to see niggas win.
I mean, yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, if you really
Be on
say you about
television for
that,
10 years.
hey,
Hey.
and y'all done took it beyond television.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We created
Got
this energy from
brands
being
and-
over there.
Hell yeah, movies and fucking record labels, all that shit. Y'all killing it. 85 South ain't a record label yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Yeah, we ain't bullshit.
Yeah, we about
Hell,
to
we
sign
ain't going
three terrible
to top
rappers and all that shit. Three terrible rappers. Fuck it. Some niggas we believe in.
That's
No,
all
we
that
ain't-
matters.
we ain't- I'm not
You
getting no
believe
terrible
in it?
rapper.
Fuck it. Everybody else do it.
We ain't getting no terrible rapper. Who gonna invest the money? You gonna invest your part of the money. I ain't doing.
Fuck it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna cut that shit off and tell that boy go home.
It's because you gifted, though.
No.
Like, you want somebody to be able to do
See, we
shit
all
at your
the same
level
kind
and
of
beyond.
terrible.
No.
See? We
What
the
I'm
same
saying
kind of
is, See how
terrible.
he start off? That's his goal. We gonna find some terrible niggas. No, hell no. We can find some niggas that can at least got talent that wanna do this shit. He like, no, let's find some motherfuckers who don't even care about this shit.
Right.
What?
And then he just gonna
That's a
talk
bad
all that
ass
shit to
shit.
me and this nigga and just do exactly what he said this nigga been doing for 10 years. Find
Yeah,
some
you
terrible
looking at
niggas.
the terrible niggas. He played, that's the Jedi mind trick shit.
You know what I'm saying?
See, you really saying that's what I've been doing is finding terrible niggas.
What? You saying some niggas that can't even rap better than me and Chico?
Ooh.
Nigga, name them.
Y'all niggas do more than rap, though.
Oh, man, I don't hear
Some
that
people
shit.
who just dedicate their life to that shit. That's what it is. Y'all dedicated y'all life to being bigger than rap.
We didn't dedicate our life to shit. This is part of what we do.
But this is your life.
Nah, this is just like
What have you
199.
dedicated your life to, Lo?
Pimping. Don't act like you didn't know this shit. The Mac and the pimping is what got me in the game.
Talk to
It
him.
was the gift of gab.
You the
If I
instigator and the
couldn't-
motivator.
If I couldn't convince these motherfuckers that I'm better than what they thought I was, none of this shit exists.
The rejuvenator.
I pimped this whole situation.
If they second guess you, then use a hater.
They
Come
think
on.
this show is about a fucking interstate.
Yeah.
Nigga, come on. You act like you don't see the pimping.
Nah, nigga, I've been seen it.
They done fucked up and let me get a whole building with the square footage with security. Ain't no
That's how
telling
you know
what
a
might
nigga
happen.
happen. They start pulling on their shit.
This is it. Look at the couch.
Yeah.
We could have got a new one. No, clean that one, because we bringing nothing but ghetto royalty through here. We want niggas to feel like they at their auntie house.
Right.
Come on, man.
You pimping the game.
Look at this floor.
You undedicated
We
your
ain't
life
even
to
done
it.
yet.
They
They was about to put a Walmart over here, but we told them no.
This supposed to be in Walmart.
Come on, man.
Hey, I don't do that. I don't have them people coming back over here and be like, wait a minute. Hold up. We was supposed to put a Walmart right there. This
Y'all
nigga
scared of
talking crazy.
Walmart. I didn't even know it.
You goddamn look. Don't disrespect.
We ain't scared of Walmart.
I won't let a white
we
man
ain't
tell me.
partnered up with Target and the rest of the motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying?
That's all this. We'll rap about that later.
Yeah, we'll rap about
Hey,
that.
man, welcome back to the 85 South Show. Today we are wilding out with none other than Nick Cannon, the most controversial nigga in the game. People only look at the good shit that he do and they ignore all the controversial shit that he be doing.
You gotta be likable, Lo.
Every time you look up, he in some shit.
As long as they like you, they'll forgive you.
Nick, you be wilding though.
That's it. Wilding out.
You be flirting with TMZ ladies and shit. You can't just be out here saying this kind of shit, Nick.
You do it.
No, but nigga, you Nick though. You be doing the most. They give a fuck about you. I'm in a comfortable position in my career where I can say shit and don't nobody give a fuck. You say the wrong shit, it's on the news in the morning. They canceling deals. Can't nobody drink Sprite no more and shit.
Man, look,
Don't never gauge your life off the shit I do. You are way more successful than me. I should never be the gauge in your decision making.
but you always told me, you said, yo, just hire you to pay you to just keep a real nigga around.
And I guess you found some other niggas. I was not suggesting nobody else. I don't know why you listen wrong. That ain't
You
what.
elevated beyond that position. Now you gotta hire real niggas to be around you to keep you solid and thorough.
I am not there yet, Nick. I am the real nigga in my life. I take all the heat for my own decisions.
As you
But
should.
your ass, you out here just fucking going crazy in real life, nigga.
I mean, I'm enjoying it though.
You probably shit.
It's
How many
the
TV shows
happy-
there now?
Shit, I stopped counting.
You stopped
So
counting.
what's the most exciting TV show? I know it's ours.
I mean, I love Wild 'N Out. That's my baby. But
You just saying that because we on there. I seen how happy you be on that Masked Singer shit. You smiled the
check
whole
is a lot
fucking
bigger.
You
Like
be
that?
smiling the whole
I
fucking
smile
time,
when I
nigga.
take these goddamn glasses off. And
See, that's the shit.
Nah, I remember nigga.
You really care about the
that
act?
shit.
I remember you was
did
doing
great.
America's
You did.
Got Talent, nigga. That nigga dressing room looked like the stage we shoot on. I was like, God
Ooh.
damn, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you.
What's the most exciting? Like
Lift
one
his
that-
arms up for a motherfucker to come fit him for a suit while he's standing right there. I said, yo.
They put his clothes
Man, the nigga went like this. He was like, what's up, Shane? And a motherfucker came and dressed this nigga. I said, oh, shit.
That's money.
Bruh, this shit different all the way.
That's money.
So what you say is the most exciting show for you then?
Ever? I mean, I gotta say it's Wild 'N Out. That's just real shit.
That's the most freedom,
I mean, one, because I run it.
right?
And I can pretty much do whatever I want to do, and I created it.
Right.
Like from working on the logo to making all the beats to creating the games to picking the cast, like, and then for it to be, nigga, we got restaurants now, we got board games,
It's a franchise.
we got motherfucking tours, and travel all over the world. Like, I haven't done that in any other capacity. You know what I mean? Like when you take something that started in here and then it literally becomes an iconic legacy for decades.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a
I
motherfucking
use Wild 'N Out. I
Griffin
use
shit.
Wild 'N Out as a blueprint for every show and everything that I go on. Cause I always say, well, I know Wild 'N Out from when it first came on, it was rough. I caught the end part of the Gladiator School, nigga.
Yeah.
When I found out y'all niggas was friends, I was like, damn, Carlos done left me. I'm by myself.
Craig Ferguson, the Grand Master, the architect of wisdom, Maharishi of mirth, goes in search of joy.
I'm here to help.
He'll be speaking with actors, doctors, comedians, and scientists, artists and athletes, and people of faith in search of extreme happiness.
The United States of America are crowned champions of the world.
At last, a podcast on a mission. A podcast that wonders, what is joy? Is it love, religion, drugs, success, money, revenge? Is it a surge of chemicals or a deeper awakening? Can it be nurtured, cultivated, and refined? Find out as Craig Ferguson explores the countless ways people find joy. The celebrations, the dances, the science, poetry, laughter, and music of joy. Don't miss it. Joy with Craig Ferguson. Hear it now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you lay awake scrolling at bedtime, or wake in the middle of the night and struggle to fall back to sleep? Start sleeping better tonight. I'm Catherine Nicolai, and my podcast, Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep, has helped millions of people to get consistent, deep sleep. I tell family-friendly bedtime stories that train you to drift off and return to sleep quickly. And I use a few sleep-inducing techniques along the way that have many users asleep within the first 3 minutes. I hear from listeners every day who have suffered for years with insomnia, anxiety at nighttime, and just plain old busy brain, who are now getting a full night's sleep every night. I call on my 20 years of experience as a yoga and meditation teacher to create a soft landing place where you can feel safe and relaxed and get excellent sleep. Listen to Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep with Catherine Nicolai on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In the summer of 1999, a young woman in South Carolina disappeared in the middle of the night. Her name was Brooke Henson. 7 years passed. She was presumed dead. And then a tip came in that would turn the entire investigation on its head.
He said, "I think I found your girl. She's alive. She's in New York." And I said, "Really?"
According to this tip, Brooke was now a student at Columbia University. But the small-town detective on the case in South Carolina, he didn't believe it. So he kept poking around.
I said, "I'm calling about a girl you might know named Brooke Henson." And he said, "I wondered when you were going to call. When my son brought her home, I knew she was trouble."
The detective ultimately became convinced that she was a master of deception, a spy. But who was this woman really? Listen to Deep Cover on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey y'all, it's Justin Richmond. And growing up, I was told that college would be my ticket to success. No one in my family had ever completed a degree, so when I transferred to UC Berkeley in 2011, I thought as long as I'd made it through the next 2 years, I'd made it. Of course, it was really only the beginning. I had no idea what came next, what I wanted to do for a living, or what making a living even meant. I was lost, so I started doing what I did as a kid whenever I saw a person of color in a Benz or a suit. I started asking successful black men and women I'd see around what they did for a living. And that's when the idea for this show struck, to start interviewing successful people who grew up on the outside. My new show is called Started from the Bottom. It's a podcast where I interview people who had to strive and struggle to reach the top. Women, people of color, those who weren't part of the old boys network. How did they beat the odds? From media firebrand Charlemagne the God to personal finance guru Susie Orman to heavyweight fighting champion Francis Ngannou. Hear their stories in their own words. Listen to Started from the Bottom on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The thing that I'm most nosy about is other people's finances. I just want to ask people, how much money do you make? And what have you figured out about money that the rest of us haven't? I'm Maya Lau, and this is Other People's Pockets, the show where I ask people about their money because salary transparency is important, and because we can all learn something from other people's financial mistakes and money hacks. On this show, we talk about money in actual dollar amounts. Like, how much does a Hollywood writer make? How does an elite scientist wind up unhoused? What's it like to make it as a big-time journalist and then lose practically everything? I talk to my guests about how they were raised, how they deal with their money anxieties, and of course, what's in their bank accounts. So get your pay stubs out. Other People's Pockets is a co-production of Pushkin Industries and Little Everywhere. Listen to Other People's Pockets on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
that's the thing, man. It's crazy you say that, Fly, because
I'm like, this nigga got a friend, you ain't telling me
it's a level of talent, man, that you gotta have to do that shit to the level that it gotta be done at. And when you came, it was different. Like when we first met, that's the first thing you said. When we came, me and this nigga downstairs in the lobby, reminiscing, like, nigga, we back again, and they gave us another one. This nigga come downstairs and say, yeah, what's up, nigga? So you done met your real friend and left me, huh? I'm like, oh, you a wild nigga in real life. What's up with you, Slim? But that's the type of shit that you can feel where a nigga gonna be able to blend into that environment, because that shit, like this nigga come do the show, and then this nigga would, at that time, he was leaving and going to shoot America's Got Talent right after. Yeah. And so it was us that was creating the environment that you come into. And we had to fight to be able to establish. Like, they was trying to give me 3 shows my first season. They was like, yeah, you're here for 3.
But they been lying on me since I first walked in the building.
Oh, I remember that situation that happened with you. Yeah.
What happened with you?
As soon as we got to the set, bro, the people who put the lights in the ceiling, they was smoking a joint. And they thought it was me.
They blamed Carlo.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, we just walked in the building. These motherfuckers been smoking all day.
That's crazy.
Damn. Been had it out for you.
They been had it out for me.
Yeah, they scared of you.
Literally was the latest shit I've ever been on, and I used it as a baby. Like, can't nobody even say nothing bad about Wild 'N Out or do no sour shit about Wild 'N Out, because we use it as a platform and we use it as a solid foundation to see how we know how a successful TV show works. Not only do we know how a successful TV show works, the energy that we have cultivated over the years.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we
what
first
I love
got
about
there,
it is like it get to show motherfuckers how much shit you can actually do.
Right.
As a talent.
Right.
Because you have to do a lot of shit that don't have shit to do with shit you might do, especially if you're on the music or you fuck with the comedy or you fucking, you know, you're a comedian and you have to fuck with the music.
But it actually became a workspace where people was looking forward to go to.
Hell yeah.
All right, Wild 'N Out called you, they called you too. All right, bitch, I mean, we got 2 weeks to go to LA. They go shoot this shit, have fun with the bros, go up here and talk some shit.
That's what it's
and we
built
gone.
It's just
you know
fun.
what I'm saying?
Like, it ain't even
that
like
shit was different
it
at the
ain't supposed to
time,
feel
though.
like
Remember them times where we was waiting on them? I remember, I ain't gonna say the name on here because I don't know if they what it was the old regime. They might be working for somebody else now. But we was waiting on them pickup notices.
Oh,
you would
yeah.
be waiting, nigga. You ain't never had to wait on no pickup notice.
Nigga, yes I did. Why not?
Nigga, you had to. They was worried about whether or not they was gonna replace you every season.
Well, nigga, we had to. Is the show coming back? Did the entire show get picked up?
Oh, of course, but
That's
see,
still the same
our
way.
pickup notice was after they had already knew the show was coming back.
right.
Like you had already been like, yeah, we coming back for another one. And 3 weeks then passed. You like, well, maybe not.
Waiting for the call.
You're waiting for the call. Like that shit was different, but in the sense of that's what made us love it so much in my opinion, because we really had to work
Hell
to
yeah.
be there. Like there was no, you know what I mean, there was no leeway. There was no olive branch in regards to, you know, what you do when you get on that stage, like when them lights turn on. Now mind you, and I want to ask you this, like, how is it different for you? Because in my opinion, you've surrounded yourself with talent that you'll always be able to say, man, I found that person. But do you ever had a pressure coming up and performing the way that we feel when we get them emails when we on the shows? Does it affect you the same way?
Because I want to keep the brand going. You know what I mean? Now there's an expectation, and even when it comes to like, I don't even like saying like, yo, I found that person or I put that person on. Really, it's the platform that I created that allowed y'all to take it. I think Cat Williams even said that shit the best. He was like, Wild 'N Out is like a diving board. He was like, it's niggas that's gonna come and jump on that motherfucker and do flips and do some Olympic shit and soar. And there's gonna be some motherfucker that come bounce on that motherfucker and fall the fuck off. So it's like, long as I keep it stable enough for niggas to continue to launch, then
that's what we appreciate.
It's the community pool. If niggas come jump off and soar with that shit.
Well, I ain't gonna cap. I be telling people all the time I put you on because I know you would never say that. Like,
It is
bro,
my big homie.
when I came in the game and we did that first season, Nick was through with it.
When you start doing comedy,
man, 19.
cause you an old young nigga.
No, I started doing comedy in 05.
You a young nigga.
I'm an old.
But you carry yourself like an old nigga. But
I was raised around. I'm from Mississippi, so I'm automatically
you,
60.
so you came out the womb at 37.
Yeah, it
You was
was.
an old nigga when you
So
came
old,
out.
you
nigga.
old like me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
old. Yeah. Everybody was old. I grew up around my great grandma and my real granddaddy.
Ain't talking about my real.
They
My
like,
real
y'all
granddaddy.
Y'all got that old nigga card.
I got to see.
He said my real
I got to
granddaddy.
see my family. Where my granddaddy could have been even greater, but he never had no drawers that fit. All his drawers was too big.
Oh, wait, but
He never.
But you wanted him to have the tight.
No, I'm just saying, like some days you would go over my granddaddy's house and he'll answer the door in his drawers.
That's what granddaddies do.
And it was like, granddaddy, if your drawers was the right size, ain't no telling what you could achieve. You just never had a real fair
all
chance.
our granddaddies had baggy drawers. I think they only made boxes in one size back in the
Nah,
day.
these
What my dad-
these
my dad
ain't
used to wear
even
white
boxes. These are just
I said, well,
drawers.
this boy, he tested
So wait,
like.
it was like saggy ass da-da-da-da?
Yes, just regular drawers.
He could have been great.
These drawers were at least
Nigga
3
should've cut.
sizes too big.
Should have cuffed his drawers. Nigga.
I don't know.
Couldn't even fit his waistline.
I'm from the city.
what I'm
I don't
saying.
know my granddaddy. I ain't never met that nigga. I'm
telling you, man.
I don't know my granddaddy either. My
I
daddy
was
was
not
cool, but my
raised
granddaddy-
around, and my
This
daddy was.
nigga had a tough life, man.
Man, that nigga, hey, listen.
People think that nigga think he all jokes. That nigga done been through some shit.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got some real gangsters or like shit.
Yeah,
You know
I
that
mean,
man
but that
right
ain't
there.
that's the beauty of being.
You gonna blow his cover.
Oh, sorry.
Nah,
This
don't
nigga
do
a
that.
real one.
Nah, you know, that's the beauty of being in this position. Like to get to this is the escape all of that shit. Like
Try
I
to
just
tell
did a
niggas.
show in DC at the MGM, and I went back through my old neighborhoods just to show like it's different now.
Yeah.
Gentrified now.
Whole
But-
Foods over there.
It's coming. You know what I mean, it's a lot of white people waiting on it. But for me, it's like I've escaped that environment.
Yeah.
But I'm of the environment.
Yeah.
But when you really of it, you don't gotta walk around like
Talk about
you know
some
what I'm
niggas
saying.
that
You don't
all
have
the
to
time.
walk around like you the
I
toughest
wear
nigga
my
or you
Courtney
with none of
jacket proudly, man.
yeah, nah, nigga, I didn't beat the game, Slim. Like
Yeah,
when I had to
man.
wake up every day and be outside without a choice.
Nigga,
like
what?
that's not something that, you know, I'm proud that I was able to get out of it, but I'm
Yeah.
also not like, yeah, nigga, guess what I did before.
Yeah.
Man, fuck all that. But the thing is, for me, getting to a position where we at now, is like I look back on coming into that slot or that diving board, like you said, with nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And like really me and this nigga, man, like we came in together and he said some shit to me at our audition, that our first workshop when we was doing that last audition, that group audition that we
Yeah,
did.
see who
that
gets
nigga
to say.
came up and said something to me that rings true to this day. Some of the realest shit ever. Like this nigga walked up to me because we knew each other prior. He was like,
Right.
man, I don't know what these niggas get ready to do, but we get ready to get on TV.
And I've been telling you that them niggas been garbage since even before y'all
Nigga
picked
hate
me.
everybody.
That's what I've been saying. I
Nigga
didn't
hate
never change.
Everyone.
All of them.
You been the same nigga since
Kobe Bryant
The
of
cutlass,
the game.
nigga.
Kobe Bryant. Fuck him. Put him on the court.
This nigga don't
If
like
they
new niggas.
make
And
it
he
to
don't like
the.
none of the older niggas either. he's the great, but that's why the nigga
What's
gonna
the
be great.
difference between new garbage and old garbage?
The
Still
smell,
garbage.
the smell, the
Still
old
garbage.
garbage stink worse.
Man, it's old garbage and new
Might
garbage.
trick
Who
you.
do you fuck with other than these two niggas right here?
What do you mean other than these two? You
fuck
don't need
nobody.
but two motherfuckers. I already proved that. People who have a lot of
See,
friends
but nigga,
don't have none.
You came up in this stand-up game with a lot of niggas. You don't fuck with none of them?
It's not that I don't fuck with them, but do you understand that these niggas look at what I do with my hard work and feel like I don't fuck with them?
Cause you don't.
Nah, 'cause
No,
we-
it's not even that. It's they had the same
They
opportunity
did.
to
All
be
the same
these
niggas
motherfuckers.
audition. But it's 'cause, you know, y'all watch the other platforms and the niggas be coming up with all of these conspiracy theories on the comedy hypes and all of that. Like, and it's like, or whoever else got a podcast and, you know, trying to emulate what y'all done built. It's like there's a lot of people that feel like, yo, y'all the throne.
Because
watch it.
they
shooting at it.
authentically don't fuck with each other. They not, you can't just
But you
get on
just said you only fuck with two
But that's what
niggas.
I'm saying. You can't just get on camera and pretend to be friends. People gonna see through that shit.
Right.
Right.
That's why they fuck with us. We don't always agree. They be with the shit sometimes and I don't be with the shit sometimes.
Nah.
Sometimes the shit I be with, they be like, Los, this your shit.
That's real.
That's the-
real
that's the
family,
fabric.
homie shit.
But that
Exactly.
come from the environment that we come up out of, which, you know, being in Wild and Out. Like, when we came in, nigga,
Had to be a
what
family.
helped
you
me,
had to find a family. You gonna be by your motherfucker.
to this day, I still do shit the same way I did when I came in 2013, nigga. I'm ducked off over here. Because there's too much shit going on in the environment for me to be comfortable.
Right.
There's too many unnecessary conversations. Niggas is eating lunch with the Wild and Out girls, acting like they don't know them your hoes. It's like, bruh, I never
That made you
understood.
choke, huh? That made you choke. You thought we wasn't gonna bring it up, Nick?
Like,
Crazy as hell.
I never got it. Like, I've never understood. I've never understood it, bro. Like, I've never understood that type of, you know what I mean? Like, I always had to find a niche to be comfortable because I don't do well in environments where I see shit going on. I'm different than him in the sense that I ain't gotta say nothing.
Right.
I just see it and be like, that's crazy, and go
This
about
nigga
my
gonna
way.
speak on it.
He gonna say something. This nigga
Loud
will go
than a
off in a prayer. Like, this nigga
in the
come
middle
out
of a prayer.
and he be ready to do the prayer. They be like, yeah, man, y'all doing great. Stop lying, nigga. It was like, Los.
I'm trying to motivate the young people. Man, fuck these niggas. They ain't gonna be here next season. Why you give these internet niggas a chance?
Why do you?
That nigga be old and grumpy, boy. I swear, boy.
Fuck, man, he grumpy now. This nigga was young and grumpy. Man.
Why?
Because I want to give people opportunities, Los. I want them
Nick,
to get on the
you are-
diving board and soar.
Nick, what is the criteria these days?
Nigga, we had this conversation.
No, what is the
every
year?
fucking season.
Because you are
Why did
lowering
you
the
pick this
standards
nigga?
so far. You used to have to be good at something.
This nigga came out.
Don't use him. Stop that shit. That nigga is amazing. He been in movies.
Justina.
He can read.
Justina came after y'all.
I can read. What the fuck?
He can read. They got niggas now that can't even read. Don't they, Chico? Don't they got some niggas that can't read?
New kids, they can read. Raw. It's some raw motherfuckers.
Man, I just heard them niggas read the other week.
They can't read.
I heard the nigga read.
What he do? What he say?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Paramount.
The poor move.
Yeah, nah, he not lying.
I ain't bullshitting.
He not lying.
Move.
Yeah, he fucked Paramount up. I'm talking about. He had to walk through Paramount.
Everybody
like,
can't read.
Yeah,
It's all right shit now. You can't leave your brother outside.
I'm just so they can know, so they can stop asking me. What's the criteria these days?
To be fearless.
Fearless.
Like you.
Not like
Fearless,
me. Not like
fearless.
me.
You
Not like
fearless.
me.
You gotta be, if you gonna succeed on Wild 'N Out, you gotta be fearless. If you scared at any moment, you gonna fail. You gonna sink. You gonna stumble off that motherfucking diving board.
People think that shit is easy.
You gotta
We
be
make that
fearless.
shit look easy.
And then
Really
because
think
they
that shit
come
look
in
easy.
with the fearless, with their chest out, fearless. As soon as it's crickets and they don't get no laughs, they get scared.
And that's it.
And
they
they
ain't going
start
back out
second
there.
guessing they shit.
Cause they think this crowd is just gonna come in here and laugh at anything. These ain't fucking people who just trained to laugh.
Yeah.
These are niggas who
Nick
really
don't put
watching
that in
this
the
shit
budget.
like they were watching at the house.
Nah, put that in the
I ain't got no laugh track. Them niggas is
Nah,
laughing for
and then
real,
them
they
New
ain't-
York seasons.
It'd be a nigga that be like, huh?
Yo, niggas.
Trash,
yo,
son.
yo, shut the fuck up, son.
trash, B.
Hey, yo, Nick, I'm better than that nigga, B. Word.
No cap.
Yo, put me on. For real, Slim. But that shit was fun, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Brooklyn
them
was
back
fun.
in the day,
Brooklyn was off
them
the chain.
joints
When we
was-
had the 3-level motherfucker on the
Yeah,
side.
that was that stuff.
Nigga, that motherfucking green room might have been my favorite shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
With the
That
hoop
with the
court
Sprite,
in it?
the Sprite court in it.
Yeah,
that was the one.
Fresh.
What my DJ booth in the middle of that
No,
motherfucker?
don't bring your DJ
That shit
booth
was
in.
live.
Don't bring
That-
your
that
DJ booth
shit
in.
That
was
shit
li-
was
that was the
live,
coldest
man.
one.
We went to
That
the
was
A.
live. That
Oh, yeah,
A1,
the
the
energy
A1
was
wasn't
there.
fucking with that New
like,
York
nigga, it was
one,
like
man.
After the season, it was like, nigga, every show. Oh, this
It got too crazy. Niggas was coming from the club to the Wild 'N Out after party.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Line up. Niggas trying to get a cover charge to get into the motherfucking
I
after
forgot
dark
we were
green
doing
room.
that. I forgot. That's why there was so many people in there.
Yeah,
There was
nigga
actually
was-
people who had wristbands. So we had people in the crowd coming back there fucking with us.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I was just like, whatever we doing, but this shit fun.
Hey, I gotta ask you this, Nick. Like, what's the reason? Like, cause you do a lot of shit, and I be like, man, that nigga don't have to do that shit, but he really doing it.
Right.
For example, now I'm talking about the good part now, like
Right.
as far as the shit that you do. Like we stay, like they didn't, we done had a transition this particular season we shooting, and we staying at a hotel, nigga.
Damn near a motel.
Yeah, but you be staying there, and it's like, bruh,
Why you
do that shit? Like when we was on tour and we had to take showers at the Salvation Army, and you was like, yeah, nigga, we going to this. I'm like, bruh, this nigga in the CIA, like, why is you taking showers with us at the Salvation Army?
I
Slim?
try to keep it thorough, man.
Nigga
If
be
y'all got to
humble.
do it, I want to do it. Why I'm gonna leave y'all? Like, nigga, I could be on my jet doing all that. Why though? I want to fuck with y'all.
But see, that's what I'm saying. But is it just to be able to see what it looks like to struggle, like so you don't forget what it looks like?
What is it?
Let me say.
See what the poor people are doing.
Let me make sure I never
Nigga,
lose that part of me.
Salvation Army, man.
Yeah. Cause we was on, I mean, that tour bus seat, like
Then
that
the
was
nigga go
the
get a
funny
full
shit.
body massage. Get this dirt off
Nigga,
me.
we was having so much fucking fun
That
on
shit
that
was
tour.
fun,
Niggas
though, man.
talking shit late at night.
Playing
Like,
gut.
yeah, nigga, that shit was fun. Like, I want to be by myself in an empty ass jet. Nigga, like, that ain't fun.
I mean,
But I'm saying you could have took us on the jet. That's what I really was getting at. Like, how do we transition into seeing the other side of the glasses? We'd have been on this side of the glasses. But yeah, I want to see the inside of the glasses. This nigga just gonna wait till we get our own and meet us. And, hey, what's up, baby? You got here.
Nah, I just wanted to always rock with y'all, and even the same shit like where we stand now. Like, I could go waste all that money. I could go get a house, all that type of shit, but like,
You with us with the dog on the
like
outside.
it's time to get up to go to work. We all get up and go to work together. Like, shit, a bed is a bed.
But that, I mean, I give you that credit though, man, because that's one of the things that I always recognize. Just me being the type of nigga that I am, and knowing that, man, this nigga ain't gotta be round niggas for real. Like this nigga really could be on some like,
That
hey
shit
man.
seems so phony and boring though, man. Like 'cause we all done came across some niggas who really, believe in their own smoke and they try to treat niggas different because of whatever reason. Like
you really could.
Who wanna be around a nigga like that?
I will
Nobody.
say it also creates a sense of like, for me at least, I know I can speak for myself to where you like, man, this nigga fuck with me, but then it's a certain level that you be looking like, man, dude, how much do you fuck with me? Because you look around and see shit that you be like, man, nigga ain't never asked me to do none of this shit, because you expose yourself to shit that you don't have to. So how do you balance that? You know what I'm saying?
I always say solid recognize solid, and then when you just lay out the platform, people gonna go get it where they want to get it. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga right here, man, you see, like, he saw it and he was like, man, I'm gonna go get these movies, I'm gonna go get this hosting shit, I'm gonna go get this music shit, I'm gonna go master this stand-up shit. Like, it was all right there for him, and you see his work ethic, you know what I mean? And some people just want, like you said, this nigga's purpose in life is to be pimping. Like, that nigga want to be able
In
to lay
life,
back.
metaphorically, not like selling coochie.
Nigga, we know what you're talking about.
Coochie of life.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, but you comfortable leaning back, talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga right here wanted all. You know what I mean?
Then I also see you too, because I use you as an example. I'm like, bro, I'm watching you land in, I'm talking about literally like 20 minutes before we go on stage, and you go rock that bitch, then leave. You like, what nigga at? Oh, he gone. Where you at? In LA? I'm like, the motherfucker was just here. It's 6 o'clock. In LA already, but he got to come back tomorrow because we got to shoot 3 more. How do you balance really being the busiest motherfucker I know? I'm talking about no cap. The busiest motherfucker I know, you're a father, and you keep a smile on your face.
Yeah.
How do you balance it all out?
I just look at it as a blessing, man, when, like, I would pay to do the shit that I get paid to do.
Right.
Like, so when you wake up and God has said, like, all of this is yours, nigga, I'm gonna go try to get it all. And I'm not gonna, like, obviously you gotta take care of yourself and your health and wellness first. But once we pass that, nigga, I'm out here cooking till I can't cook no more.
Right.
Keep cooking while the pot is hot type shit. Like it's, to me, every idea is a great idea till we come up with the best idea.
Right.
So whether if you got something, he got something, like, look, nigga, let's cook up. Like, if I see an opportunity, it's a bag over there, it's an easy bag to go get. Like, I'm trying to be one of those cats that just understands how to diversify your portfolio on every single level. So whether it's entertainment, business, in front of the camera, behind the camera, I'm always gonna be constantly thinking, what's the next play? What's the next move? So luckily, I got that youthful energy, so I can still go. Like you said, I don't have to do it no more. I can be chilling on an island somewhere, but it's like I'm always trying to figure out how to be innovative and what's the next wave, so I can keep cooking.
Where did that come from for you?
The hustle mentality, growing up with, my pops. I mean, y'all see my pops. And they got
that nigga crazy.
That nigga will stop you right now.
Yeah.
They got a new idea every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I got it from him. I mean, he came from the streets to the pulpit to, and then even, just growing up around D-boys and hustlers, niggas just trying to figure out how to get it.
How you keep from going crazy, going from a child star to an adult star? A lot of your peers went crazy and got to fucking with the wrong shit.
I don't think I was a child star though. I think to the world it probably was, but I lived a whole regular life. I was in the projects cutting hair, selling weed, trying to figure it all out like everybody
Man,
else.
selling weed.
Nigga. To what age?
Selling weed.
You on Nickelodeon at 14, motherfucker.
No, I wasn't. Nigga, I was grown.
For
like,
real?
yeah.
You just looked 14?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
You was grown on
Niggas done bought some weed from Nick.
Do you own Nickelodeon?
No, nigga.
I
I was an executive there. I was the chairman for years. But that's what I'm saying. Like, cause I don't ever be, like I said, I'm not trying to glorify this shit, but like,
damn it,
nigga,
Nick.
my stepdad was the biggest D-boy in the city. You know what I mean? So I came up under that shit, and that was the play. Like, if it's entertainment, shit, he was selling more than weed. Like, that's just what I was doing in high school. I'm talking about, but I was being groomed to be that next nigga to kind of operate like that, and it could have went that way. And I had a lot of partners that did go that way, and a lot of them niggas is still serving.
So how the hell you get into entertainment? How you get into the entertainment? Give us the day that Nick Cannon didn't have to sell weed no more, and your ass was on all that.
Nigga, I'll tell you, this is God honest truth, man. Like, it was on some save my life type shit. Like, my area and another area really was getting at it, and partners was just getting shot, dying, and I remember I went to my grandpa. I was like, yo, I'm literally scared for my life. Like, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of high school type shit. And guys on the show, he gave me this book called Name It and Claim It by Dr. Fred Price. That was our pastor at Crenshaw Christian Center. And he was like, if you keep speaking death, that's gonna happen to you. You start speaking life, then whatever you speak is gonna happen to you. He's like, you gotta speak things into existence. And that book was called Name It and Claim It. That was probably the first book when I was about, 15, 16 that I had ever really read start to finish and kept reading it over. And I literally, whatever you desire, believe it when you pray it, and you shall have it. Also, Mark 11:23 type stuff. Really just living it. And I started speaking like, yo, I'm gonna be an entertainer, I'm gonna be a comedian, I'm gonna be a rapper. And like, this is in high school. And I literally, while homies was going through it, and it's certain area, I couldn't even go no more. We couldn't go to the mall no more. We couldn't go to different football games because it was active. And I was like, yo, I gotta remove myself out of this environment. So I started catching rides 2 hours away to Hollywood, standing outside the Comedy Store, the Improv, the Laugh Factory, just with grown niggas. It was everybody from Chappelle to Pierre to the Wayans. Like, and I'm just a kid standing outside, sleeping on Jamie Foxx's couch, like just trying to figure out how not to go back to the hood. Right. And when I did go back, I literally had to get back to school in the morning. Niggas wouldn't believe me when I talk about the shit that I was doing. And I was just like, this is my vision, I'm gonna speak it. And really within, I ended up graduating high school early, and I was writing for TV shows. I was the warm up on Nickelodeon. I started, at the time it was WB and all that. I was doing all of that, getting holding deals. Jamie Foxx had a comedy festival down here called Laugh-A-Palooza. Got a deal out that joint. I was Bay Area Comedy Festival, rocked that shit, won that shit, and I was fresh out of high school, you know what I mean? But I had escaped the life that I was like, nigga, once I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna square up like a box of Apple Jacks and just whatever y'all say, I'm gonna focus. And so Nickelodeon came, I was like, yeah, I'll be a little kid for y'all motherfuckers, let's go, let's get it.
Bro, Laughing-Palooza was some of the dopest shit I ever got to be a part of.
Yeah.
Cause it was just like a whole week of just all the comedians in the country just go out.
I remember I got my
hit
first
every
deal
club,
at
every
the
stage.
First Laughing-Palooza. Like we would rock the Uptown, we would do different arena. It was crazy.
Everything in between, all the comedians from on the whole
Chris
urban
Tucker had a club.
scene.
Real?
Yeah, this nigga Chris Tucker had a club out here. He used to bring me down. Like I was, again, everybody who started out young would look out for the other young niggas. So they was like, I remember being a teenager. So I remember Chris Tucker flew me and Mike Epps out here to do his club and put us in the same room. I had to bunk with that crazy ass nigga Mike. This nigga had all kind of bitches.
Goddamn it, Nick, stop that.
No, but those were my OGs. Those are dudes that showed me how the game go. And that's, obviously he was young, Mike was young. Like nigga, like Chris was the nigga popping at the time. So like we was just comedians on the road and shit. So.
You ever had anybody like, little boy you or try to little boy you and then double back and lead you?
Nigga, all the time, nigga, all the niggas that was on wilding out in the early seasons.
Oh, so you don't fuck with them?
No, I love
You don't fuck with nobody, see?
that's your
Yeah,
ass.
see, nah, you the same kind of
I was a
nigga.
little boy to the
See
niggas.
this shit, Chuck?
Nigga, Spanky and all them niggas and Joe Blunt, all them, Thomas Ward, they was older. They used to live in the jungles in LA. And I would come up and I'd have to sleep on their floor. You know what I mean?
Spanking them floors?
Yeah, like
Damn.
yeah, so it shit like niggas, I was the little homie, you know what I mean? Shouts out to, Chris Spencer and all the niggas, Alex Thomas, them niggas those was the niggas I was looking up to, and they still in the game strong now, but it's like, when you do this comedy shit, it's a whole different culture. Like,
Yeah, but the reason I asked is because how did you handle it? What's the most important part of the equation that makes you say, I ain't gonna do a nigga the way I could? Like,
nah, cause I mean, what do you really get out of that? But that's low frequency shit. You know what I mean? Like to me, niggas know what I got. Like you get to a point, I ain't got. I'm gonna stun on some niggas that's doing bad. Like that ain't. Like that ain't.
He like, why wouldn't you, nigga?
I want to see niggas win. Like especially a lot of the people I came up with. I want to see them shine. Like. Especially the certified real ones, like, that's like, that nigga Scratcho gonna be my nigga for life. Just because that nigga, when I was a kid, that nigga not only was he the big homie on stage, that nigga was the protector of all of us just moving around. I seen this nigga in Compton knock a nigga out, a heckler out, and set the nigga right there, knocked out, and have to tell the rest of it, he had to hear his whole set. Sleep.
No.
Like,
put him up in a set.
The nigga kept talking. He's like, dude, I just got out. Like, I'm just trying to do this comedy. He kept talking. Nigga Scrancho, boop, boop, boop. Pick the nigga up. Nigga heard all
he said, like I said. I fought with OG.
Nah, but I'm just saying, cats like that, when you come around, and like, so any project I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that nigga in the move to school dance, or, whatever, wilding out, creating podcast, whatever I could do to help cats that have been with me since I was 15 years old. Like, and that's who, whoever it is, from, like I said, Spanky, Scrancho, to whoever else that we was riding with, to niggas obviously that we already know is, making hella money now, from the niggas from Kevin Hart to Cat Williams. We came up together.
You and this nigga stay pranking each other. Y'all got a whole goddamn prank shit.
They done gave us millions of dollars to prank niggas now. We good. Like, we gonna have some real fun. We used to come out our own pockets to prank each other. Now we got a budget. We gonna start sending niggas to the moon and shit. Niggas thought they was on Spirit and sent that nigga to Jupiter.
Don't prank me.
I'm good, Slim. Don't do me like that.
Nigga, do you buy the nigga a line like some shit?
Me, man.
Nah, because he an asshole, bro. He'll do us fucked up. He'll be like, yeah, Chico, I'm finally gonna put you in that movie. You and Carlos is finally gonna be in the movie. We show up to set, nigga, and Scruncho there with some boxing gloves on. Man, yeah, I want to see if you can make it. There's a rolling like, hey, what the fuck up there? What the fuck, man?
He like, put your skates on.
Put your skates up, because I'm not fighting with the skates on, Slim. You know what I mean? But that type of shit, though,
it's
you know
fun,
what I mean?
though.
When you get to that point, like, what is the shit that make you want to keep creating outside of the money? Like, is it legacy?
Some shit you can have fun at. You know, like I said, that's why me and Kev do what we do. I wouldn't do Wildin' Out if that shit wasn't fun.
Right.
Like, nigga,
Has it ever not been fun?
Nah, I think I probably went through some stages and shit where I was just like, people was frustrating me because they didn't allow me to take my brand where I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we got a lot of them people out the way. So, like, you know, again, like, we jump in there, we knock that shit out. We do 3 episodes in one day and have fun. Nigga, if you ain't having fun, you shouldn't be there. Right. And that's just, I tell that from, you know, from the top to the bottom, from executives to the catering. Like, look, we about love, peace, and having a good time. If you on some other shit, then this ain't for you.
I overheard you on one podcast and you was talking and you was just saying about the ups and downs about the business and whatever.
Right.
And a lot of people would assume that motherfucker fly too.
Oh, yeah, I had to show them off, you know.
Yeah, the motherfucker, all right.
Good looking.
A lot of
just match that motherfucking jacket I gave you. I might ask for that motherfucker back.
I ain't got it no more, cause Cedar got it.
Oh, y'all niggas just passed it. Nigga, that jacket worth about 50.
Well, he got it now, so don't ask me about the shit, nigga. I don't have it no more. Me and Conceited, like, that's the thing, like, bruh, you gotta understand, it took us, well, I know for me, it ain't that I didn't want that type of shit back then. It was just on Jupiter, nigga.
Yeah,
so we had to get to the point where we could afford them outfits you was wearing.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck how much money I get. I'm stealing that shit from you, nigga. I don't give, because I know you don't need it. Nigga, yeah, this jacket was like 50. I know it didn't come out of your pocket. Let me get that motherfucker. Bro, I ain't never tell you, but when he gave me the jacket, the lady that worked with him, sweet lady, love her. She's a nice lady. Always nice to me, always, Chico, I love you so much. Man, that nigga gave me that jacket. She came around the corner like she was great. See about me. Hey, what's up? Where the jacket at? I'm like, what jacket, man? What you talking about? She was like, did Nick give you the jacket? Nigga, she walked me over there like a principal nigga.
Yo, some custom Louis shit.
Yeah, she walked me in there. She was like, did you say he can have this? He was like, yeah. I said he can have it. I was like, yeah, I can have it. Then me and this nigga Chuck did the Frisco shit on me. You know what I mean? This nigga Nick say, man, he was gonna give some shoes away. That nigga Chuck, I about to go get the shoes. He pulled me, hey nigga. Hey bro, how much of this shit you done got, nigga? Hey, for real, man. How much of this shit you done got, bro? Like, for real, bro. Let another nigga eat over the shoe.
Niggas all wear the same
Man,
size.
Chuck be calling you about shit like that. Chuck be calling me about crazy shit.
No, he ain't calling me.
Nigga asked me on a show how many bitches Nick gave me. I said, nigga, you giving this nigga too much credit. Chuck called me and said, yo, what you say about Nick? I said, nigga, watch the rest of the clip. He called me back, he was like, all right. Nigga ain't gave me no bitches. I got my own bitches now, Nick.
Hey, have at it, as you should.
I want credit for having my own
You
bitches.
should.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got to.
Clear that shit up. Don't be calling me, Chuck.
Carlos has his own bitches.
I ain't never said nothing fucked up about Nick. That I wouldn't say in front of him. He know that.
That's true.
Craig Ferguson, the Grand Master, the architect of wisdom, Maharishi of mirth, goes in search of joy.
I'm here to help.
He'll be speaking with actors, doctors, comedians, and scientists, artists and athletes, and people of faith in search of extreme happiness.
The United States of America are crowned champions of the world.
At last, a podcast on a mission. A podcast that wonders, what is joy? Is it love, religion, drugs, success, money, revenge? Is it a surge of chemicals or a deeper awakening? Can it be nurtured, cultivated, and refined? Find out as Craig Ferguson explores the countless ways people find joy. The celebrations, the dances, the science, poetry, laughter, and music of joy. Don't miss it. Joy with Craig Ferguson. Hear it now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you lay awake scrolling at bedtime, or wake in the middle of the night and struggle to fall back to sleep? Start sleeping better tonight. I'm Catherine Nicolai, and my podcast, Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep, has helped millions of people to get consistent, deep sleep. I tell family-friendly bedtime stories that train you to drift off and return to sleep quickly. And I use a few sleep-inducing techniques along the way that have many users asleep within the first 3 minutes. I hear from listeners every day who have suffered for years with insomnia, anxiety at nighttime, and just plain old busy brain, who are now getting a full night's sleep every night. I call on my 20 years of experience as a yoga and meditation teacher to create a soft landing place where you can feel safe and relaxed and get excellent sleep. Listen to Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep with Catherine Nicolai on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In the summer of 1999, a young woman in South Carolina disappeared in the middle of the night. Her name was Brooke Henson. 7 years passed. She was presumed dead. And then a tip came in that would turn the entire investigation on its head.
He said, I think I found your girl, and she's alive. She's in New York. And I said, really?
According to this tip, Brooke was now a student at Columbia University. But the small-town detective on the case in South Carolina, he didn't believe it. So he kept poking around.
I said, I'm calling about a girl you might know named Brooke Henson. And he said, I wondered when you were going to call. When my son brought her home, I knew she was trouble.
The detective ultimately became convinced that she was a master of deception, a spy. But who was this woman really? Listen to Deep Cover on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, y'all, it's Justin Richmond. And growing up, I was told that college would be my ticket to success. No one in my family had ever completed a degree, so when I transferred to UC Berkeley in 2011, I thought as long as I'd made it through the next 2 years, I'd made it. Of course, it was really only the beginning. I had no idea what came next, what I wanted to do for a living, or what making a living even meant. I was lost, so I started doing what I did as a kid whenever I saw a person of color in a Benz or a suit. I started asking successful black men and women I'd see around what they did for a living. And that's when the idea for this show struck, to start interviewing successful people who grew up on the outside. My new show is called Started from the Bottom. It's a podcast where I interview people who had to strive and struggle to reach the top. Women, people of color, those who weren't part of the old boys network. How did they beat the odds? From media firebrand Charlemagne the God to personal finance guru Susie Orman to heavyweight fighting champion Francis Ngannou. Hear their stories in their own words. Listen to Started from the Bottom on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The thing that I'm most nosy about is other people's finances. I just want to ask people, how much money do you make? And what have you figured out about money that the rest of us haven't? I'm Maya Lau, and this is Other People's Pockets, the show where I ask people about their money because salary transparency is important, and because we can all learn something from other people's financial mistakes and money hacks. On this show, we talk about money in actual dollar amounts. Like, how much does a Hollywood writer make? How does an elite scientist wind up unhoused? What's it like to make it as a big-time journalist and then lose practically everything? I talk to my guests about how they were raised, how they deal with their money anxieties, and of course, what's in their bank accounts. So get your pay stubs out. Other People's Pockets is a co-production of Pushkin Industries and Little Everywhere. Listen to Other People's Pockets on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
No, I was saying I had seen a podcast where...
No, I wouldn't say nothing fucked up about him behind his back. I'm going to say it to him first. Then I say
Everything that come out this nigga mouth is fucked up.
Thank you. He knows I'm a terrible person. We have a great relationship. People always asking me about this thing. He is here. I'm happy to ask him about all this crazy shit. I've been knowing Nick when he had 2 kids.
Facts. Just jump. But nah, I was asking, I seen a podcast where you was talking about the way the elevation of the game and it can go up and down. A lot of people, because you know, you started, you say you looked young, but everybody swore you was a kid star.
Yeah.
You went crazy, but you been in the game damn near 30 years, nigga.
Damn near.
What the hell are you talking about, nigga? That's a long time.
I've been doing stand-up 30 years. I started doing stand-up when nigga was like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah, you 30 years, you in the game. But I remember you saying that when you did Drumline,
Yeah.
you was like, I only had $60,000 in my pocket when they called.
Yeah.
You was like, shit. Why
I might not even have that, because that's what they paid me to do drumline.
That's what they paid you to do Drumline. But
Drumline
what you did
check.
from Drumline,
I didn't really have, it was check to check. But at that time, drumline was my biggest check, and that was 60.
Speak on that, living
Yeah.
check to check. in the industry, household name, and motherfuckers know you,
right?
But you live in check to check.
I mean, that's just like everybody's job. Nigga, like I was probably making more money doing stand-up than I was getting off of TV at that time. Right. You know what I mean? Because, you know, early days of Nickelodeon, they wasn't paying. That's why I was writing, too. I was trying to write and do all of that because there was more checks there. I'd do the warm-up, show up, grab that 500. I was just trying to hustle. I was dancing on Soul Train for...
Stop, man.
Niggas swear. Me and Afion.
I was about to say, Afion Crockett. Bro, at the comedy club that I started in, they got a picture of Afion. I fuck with that nigga about every time I see him. I'm
with
like, bro, you gotta... Yeah, I'm talking about the alien Jones.
Yeah,
I was like...
palm tree.
Bro, you ever work with that nigga that looked just like you? That nigga, the other nigga, that nigga that looked just like you, nigga.
Oh, I know you talking about in Rollbound. The nigga who
Wesley? Nigga, we was in Rollbound together.
I'm saying on some other on the other shit. That was the only shit y'all did.
Yeah, I mean, nigga, that was my partner for shit. Like we used to tell niggas we was brothers when we was coming up in auditions and shit like that. And that nigga was, you talking about Wesley Jonathan?
Bro, I guess that's a nigga.
Yeah, he had City Guys. He had the show that used to come on Saturday mornings on NBC. So that nigga was popping.
Hell yeah.
So I was his little bro. So like that nigga was, you know, that nigga was in Panther.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit, like he was in a classic film and all of that shit. So I looked up to that nigga. And that's just, you know, it's one of them moves where when you out in Hollywood, like I had a different gift because I was auditioning and doing music and shit, but stand-up was what I was known for. So I didn't even really have to audition a lot. I'd be like, yo, send the casting director, send the director to the Improv that night or to the Comedy Store. And they'd be like, yo, this little motherfucker getting off. You know, and so I would skip over a lot of shit, but like, you know, I mean, y'all done heard the stories. Nigga, every young black kid in music and in Hollywood auditioned for Drumline.
Right.
Like, I had to go in that motherfucker about 8 different times, and I had never booked no shit off of auditions before. So I'm like, I was musical, so I knew how to move around. And, you know, luckily the director, Charles Stone, who was so cold, that nigga directed Drumline and Paid in Full. You know what I mean? That was his first 2 movies, but before that, he was just a dope music, you know, video commercial director. And he saw something in me, man, and it's just like, out of thousands of niggas, like, and I mean, people tell you a story every year. You hear Silk the Shocker talking about it, T.I., everybody, like, nigga, when I tell you.
Silk the Shocker?
Yeah, everybody, nigga. Everybody auditioned for that shit. The niggas from TV shows, movies, everybody was auditioning for that shit.
Silk the motherfucking Shocker in there, Thomason. Man, nobody want to see no goddamn Silk the Shocker playing no drum.
That nigga from Louisiana, you know, he grew up with instruments and drums and shit.
Ooh.
If not Drumline, what would you say, what was the moment for you was like, oh shit, I made it?
I still don't feel like that. I don't feel like that. Dead ass. Like, nigga, I'm in all y'all niggas, like, I'm constantly hustling.
I know you hustling. We talking about when the shit got different, when the checks got different.
Well, I can tell you, like, the biggest check, but even then.
No, I don't want no big check.
But even then, when that shit would happen, it'd be gone so quick.
Why?
This nigga stupid.
Nah, I mean, like, this shit be.
The biggest check.
Damn, he said, I'll tell you with the big check. No, I don't want to hear that shit. What the guy? Because if you gonna tell me the shit, I'm like, yeah. Damn! I know it's out there. But it's like, when did that shit change, though? Like, we all knew Wild 'N Out changed. It helped change.
But see, no, but you gotta remember, well, for y'all, but for me, Wild 'N Out wasn't
For y'all.
No, but Wild 'N Out wasn't a success when it first dropped out. Them niggas was bad. Like, again, they was excited about Punk and all of that shit. And I was just like, you know, we was doing well.
Right.
But we was waiting, they gonna pick us up? Nigga, the Wild 'N Out season, the first season was 6 episodes.
Right.
And we just wanted to get to season 2, though, and then they gave us 8. We like, oh, we thought we was on, nigga. And then from there, it just slowly, so even then, like, Wild 'N Out wasn't a success at first. Right. You look back and be like, shit, we've been doing this shit 2 decades, but even Drumline wasn't a success. Like, that shit opened moderately. It did well,
right?
But they didn't market it, they didn't promote it. Nigga, they had no billboards, barely, like, commercials was only on BET. But the culture fucked with it and turned it into the classic. Like, so everything, like, I've never had that where a whole system or a whole studio believes in you. Like the shit when you see like with these actors today, like shouts out to Michael B. Jordan. You go, that nigga's on buildings and
right,
because I mean, and it's dope. Like whether it's from Creed to Black Panther, or you know what I mean. Like there's certain people that a whole studio will get behind. And be like, we want to turn this person into a movie star. We want to turn this person to a television star. You get like a Donald Glover and a whole network will get behind them and motherfuckers be at the Emmys and all that shit. Like, that's because the system fucks with them. I'm outside the system. Everything I done did, all my success I had to work for. Ain't nobody ever believed in me. And that's just the shit. And that's why I believe in niggas like y'all, because I know that pain. It's like where don't nobody support you. You feel like you out there by yourself. So now at least I know I done built my own shit. So let me teach niggas the game so they can build their own shit. So they don't have to have all of their self-esteem built off of a system that never fucked with them in the first place.
Facts. So you got that side. You got. I fuck with that. You got that side.
I fucks with that.
You got that side of it, right? That side that you dealing with on the corporate side and the Hollywood side. And then you got the other side of it, the shit that niggas come up to us and be like, man, Nick corny for real. Like, man, get nigga real nigga. You know what I mean?
He done been with me when I was swing on Times Square.
All the way. Yeah, we standing there like.
One more time. Pissing me off.
Yeah, all the way.
Nick ain't here, my nigga. He ain't here.
Yeah, all the way. But we,
let's go fucking talk then.
Yeah, niggas.
He go right there by me like
y'all was shooting some shit.
Yeah, we was shooting some shit in Times Square. But Buddy was just he was talking. You know what I mean? But like you dealing with that on that side, but you never said, hey man, what the fuck y'all mean I'm corny? Nigga, I'm over here dealing with this shit. You bitch ass niggas got me fucked up. Like, why haven't you felt the need to ever address that part? You address a lot of shit. You address some shit that you shouldn't address. But you never address that.
Cause
why
that
not?
Shit, like, cause it don't bother me. Like, that's like, it don't really, like, I like when niggas call me corny, nigga. That's my motherfucking, like, decoy. I'll take that all day. Like, I want you to underestimate me. I want you to think shit is sweet. So, cause then now I got the upper hand, whatever the situation is.
But we know you and we know that this shit is, that shit it don't even apply to the gangster shit we be seeing you do, and we're like, man, if these motherfuckers knew.
It's beauty. Don't blow my cover. Like, I want to be, I'm corny, yes. It is what it is. Because
I look at it as marketable.
Nigga, exactly. I always say, nigga, the corny is.
I seen the nigga do some shit.
That's the shit. Like, chicks really like corny motherfuckers. They want you to make them laugh.
Don't be on here giving relationship advice.
I ain't giving no advice.
You get terrible. You give terrible advice.
I'm asking them questions. I got you.
The one you giving terrible advice and wearing bright orange hoodies and
that's
shit.
That's my morning show. That's why I be wearing
You starting off the morning giving out bad advice.
I don't get no, first of all, I ain't never gave a nigga advice ever in life. Nigga,
You did tell a nigga get a lawyer. Well, you never liked what we were getting paid. You like, y'all didn't get a lawyer and walk off. I'm like, okay.
Exactly what that nigga told
gotta get a lawyer.
But the funny part, he didn't even walk off. The nigga said, y'all niggas get a lawyer and went and laid in his bunk on the bus. He was like, this nigga just go get in the bunk after
telling us, you don't like to get
all right, well, all right.
Hey, y'all niggas went and got lawyers.
And you see what
But I don't give advice on camera, is what I'm saying. Right. You know what I mean?
So what would you say is hard? Is okay, as a man with many gifts, many talents, I understand. You got the hosting, you got the comedy, you got creative content, you got music, motherfucker. Movies. What would you say was the hardest to grab? The hardest to achieve? I know you're saying you still overcoming shit.
I mean, like, I think the shit that, obviously we all know, like, the shit that's probably the most frustrating because the music game is not a real game. It's not based off of talent.
Facts.
So niggas don't sit around and know I play 7 instruments and make all the beats on Wild and Out There. It's just like, you gotta have a story, a trajectory. I mean, you go through the same shit. All y'all go through the same shit. Y'all niggas is gifted, but they wanna hear about the nigga that was trapping or the nigga that just got out.
They just act like they don't see you. That's how it works.
So it's like, which is cool because there's something to it because niggas like authentic, they like real shit, they like a nigga, like that's why today the biggest D-boy in the hood can become the biggest rapper in the world because like, oh, this nigga is certified and they get respect in this field. So all we got to do is put this nigga together with some rhyming words and a dope beat, and he out of here.
Right.
So when a nigga who's not trying to do that, but can come up in the church and sit on the organ and sit on the drums and all of that stuff, those usually don't be the dudes that succeed in that space. So we still on the grind, and you know, even like I done put, you know, multi-platinum artists on. I done built careers, but I'm never one to gloat to be like, oh, I wrote that song or I did this. Or but the music game is always gonna be a challenge. One, it's a young man's game. So to be able to stay current and really, and that again, y'all niggas keep me hot. You know what I mean? The next generation of artists that I'm looking to find, the new show I got, Future Superstars, I'm finding teenagers. I'm finding, and I learned that game from the Quincy Jones and the L.A. Reeds.
Man, that
and all.
shit been done. Go find some old niggas who never got a chance.
They too old.
I did that on America's Got Talent, nigga.
Nah, fuck that.
I did that already. Them Susan Boyles and shit like that.
I remember.
Find that
If
old
I'm not
nigga in that
mistaken.
Subway who be singing Sam Cooke.
Yeah, hell yeah.
One of them early seasons of Wildin' Out, you was bringing her around, like H-E-R, her.
Yeah.
I remember.
Little Gabby.
Yeah, like you was like, this is you know, my new artist or somebody I'm working with at the time. And every time I see her, I be thinking I'm tripping. I'm like, I think that was the.
That's it. Yeah. Shoot, I put her on Nickelodeon, nigga. I directed and produced a movie for Nickelodeon that had her in it, Soulja Boy, Justin Bieber, shit. Like it was that I've always had a knack to know who's gonna be next in the young talent space. So, you know, it's one of those things where we continue in that vibe. But I think now I'm gonna probably stick my chest out a little bit more and be like, yo, I produced that record or I put that person on.
Yeah, you gotta do it a little bit more.
I never wanted to though, because I always like to
you
play
said,
the back.
The music industry, they know, but then they be like, if they know you's behind it, they like, oh, because in the music game, there's so many different platforms and so many different titles and jobs. People be thinking you got to be the motherfucker that's holding the mic to sing. But no, I can put the shit together.
And then sometimes it might be better that people don't know because they know you did it and just won't act like they don't like it just because they know you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Motherfucker act like, oh, he did it? Oh, I don't even want to hear it now because I know I ain't going to like it. But if you don't put your name on it, then a nigga.
Yeah, that's why I had my, like, even when I used to produce records for Mariah and shit, I didn't want people to know, so I had an alias.
Shit, put it out there, my
So
boy.
it was the Heat Miser. So it's like, I was a motherfucker.
Man, of all the names you could have came up, the Heat Miser.
You know who the fuck the Heat Miser? You're a young nigga, you don't know who the Heat Miser is.
Oh, he about to flex on you.
Yeah, but please.
Nah,
See, here you go.
It was this old ass show back in the day where niggas used to get high to and watch this shit. It was like the black version of like motherfucking Sesame Street and shit. And these niggas it was like HR puffing stuff and all that shit. Or no, and it was the Heat Miser, if you remember. Then they also made the shit, the Christmas, the motherfucking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer shit. And it was like the nigga that was ice cold. And then it was the other nigga with the flame hair. That nigga was the Heat Miser.
With Heat Miser.
Yeah, I'm telling you, nigga, that shit was fire.
So what beat did the Heat Miser? What's the hottest beat that the Heat Miser made for Mariah Carey?
That shit that just went viral again. It's a Rap.
Boy, you know what you should have produced.
Shit, and I put Mary J. Blige on the remix of that motherfucker.
Boy, if you would have produced that damn Christmas song.
Oh, yeah, nigga, I was fucking
it was
13 when that bitch
exactly.
came out.
Now that shit. Now we done made so many jokes over the years about all of the shit that you got going on because you're such a public person.
Right.
I mean, you can't. I don't know why you just said don't nobody believe in you, but somehow. The universe just seems to always have you in front of some shit. Like
God
the
got
universe,
my back.
the universe finds a way to put you in front of the world, and everything you say and do is right there to be consumed by the public. So, why do you choose to as we've known you, you've grown, and to me, at least in my eyes, you started to let people in the shit that you used to. That you had to be in this space to be able to see. Now you just giving quotes about shit, and I'm like, ain't no way that nigga said that out loud, man. But where does that did that come from? Just fatigue of giving a fuck?
I mean, I think I always just been the same nigga. Like I think like you said, if the spotlight is on me, I'm gonna keep it a stack. You ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it to the best of my ability and truthfully.
Now you don't have to be trolling sometime though.
But now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, like,
Now,
what is the
like
change?
now, because it's like I'm in this business. When I'm building brands and shit like that, I know if I say a certain shit, it's gonna go viral. I always say, you gotta manipulate the media before the media manipulates you. Right. You know what I mean? So you gotta know how to maneuver in these spaces. And also, I gotta be the front runner in a lot of this shit.
Right.
So sometimes I gotta step out there and say some shit that other niggas are scared to say. Or feel like, yo, whatever consequences come with it, I can handle it. Right. You know what I mean? Where another motherfucker might say some shit and their career be gone.
Right.
So, it's really about, truly living that freedom of speech shit, especially when they know your core is centered, where you coming from an authentic place. You coming from a place where you just really want to see people shine and see people win.
Man,
speaking of media manipulation, and we ain't never talked about this or whatever. When all that shit went down, and you know what I'm saying, and we was fired.
Niggas was fired.
We was fired.
It's your fucking fault.
We was fired.
During the pandemic,
I ain't gonna tiptoe around it. You
during the pandemic, bro. During the pandemic.
Don't talk about it, goddamn it.
I mean, during the pandemic.
He definitely didn't fuck
You
up.
fucked it up, Nick.
How did you feel because I ain't never got offered no money. It was an interview and they asked me.
Right.
If they wanted to replace Nick, how much money was it gonna take for you to get on the show? And I was like, I ain't taking shit.
That off the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. I was like, I ain't taking shit.
Nah,
if a motherfucker.
If I ain't never told you on camera, nigga, I love you for that too. That's real
appreciate
shit.
it. I just want to.
I would have took the money.
Yeah, we know.
You know that. I would have left your name on the shit. Nick Cannon presents Carlos Miller presenting the shit that he presented.
Nigga, hell.
You know I would have took the money.
No, we wasn't.
Nah, but I
like that,
just want to
man.
know, like, when that shit popped up, because you still a regular nigga.
Right.
Outside of all the shit that you accomplished, because we
Right.
acting like this because we do so much, we ain't got emotion.
Facts.
And we ain't got feelings.
Yeah.
So when that shit popped up, and you heard my response, what was your initial reaction when you were like, God damn?
Nigga, I loved you for that shit, but also because I was at a time, I had told them niggas I wasn't coming back. Like it's funny because if you remember how it actually played out.
I remember I was at the house. I never watched Wild 'N Out.
They got mad and, they said, and I had been in this situation before with NBC and everything to where the people the higher ups said, we have to teach you a lesson. Right. They literally, behind closed doors, they said, we have to make an example out of him. Because, other people in our space and it was talking reckless.
Right.
Yeah.
And it got back to me. I was like, they want to make an example out of me. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
Right.
Like, if that ain't the most offensive and buck-breaking slave master shit, if I ever you gonna hang me out in front of all the niggas and make an example out of me.
Right.
And so, then you got to start backtracking, And so then they offered it back to me immediately. Like, yo, how can we figure this out? And there was a lot of amazing people that, that I worked with for years. That's why I say you can't ever even blame an individual when you're talking about corporations. Right. Because there's boards, there's shareholders, you know what I mean? There's people that been putting money into it for a long time. And the majority of the people understood, Nick is family. He been at this company since he was a teenager. Right. But there's some people that literally like, we gotta make an example out of him. Mm-hmm. So by the time we got there, I was like, fuck that brand, fuck that. Matter of fact, this is my brand. I've owned it for the majority of the time. And I want this, I want that. We did the evaluations. We knew how many billions it was worth. Like, we was ready to go to war. And I was like, if I never step foot back on that motherfucking stage again, I don't care. I was done with Wild 'N Out. Mm-hmm. Like, cause I was just like, one, I was getting more money at other networks. Fox had my back solid, you know what I mean? Like, solid. You know what I mean? Yeah, Fox. Yeah. So it was like, I'm good. And like, I was cool. Like, I walked away from NBC. I walked away from millions a couple years earlier than that. And then doubled up and got the #1 show on Fox, believing in myself. So I was like, I'm gonna just do that shit again. Right. And like, I was like, so whatever they want. And then when I heard Job do the interview and a couple other people and shit, I was like, damn, it's a lot more people that love this brand and eating off this brand and provide for their families with this brand. So I was like, I'll come back and do it for them. I'll come back.
We wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
We said that live.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
nigga,
it was unity.
not coming back and doing that shit without that,
I
man.
wish another nigga
Wish I would have did Jason Derulo presents.
I'd punch that nigga in the back of your head. Drop that motherfucking
Jason
mic.
Derulo presents Wildin' Out.
What?
Nah, hell nah.
They remember they had the memes of Ryan Seacrest presents.
Yeah, Brian Seacrest presents
That
Wildin'
was
Out.
so crazy how they ASAP put that out there, was like, let's just try to put a white face on it to see how they would react.
Hilarious.
We was like, what?
Nah, but nigga.
We gonna beat the nigga who created it up. You tripping?
But that's what it was. I saw so many other, you know how many families we provide for with Wildin' Out? You know what I mean? And just
I know one in particular.
Who?
Mine, motherfucker.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like I came back because I wanted to do it for everybody else, and even now that's why we, trying to give other people. We the funny thing what you say, like behind closed doors in the business meetings and stuff, because as you see, there's a lot of stuff going on, mergers and this company buying this company and this. So I know how much value Wildin' Out has. I know the digital numbers. I know the ticket sales when we doing the Live Nation tours. So. And a lot of times they try to keep us in the dark. Right. They don't want you to know your value. So I know the value, so I'm like, yo, Wildin' Out should be its own network. We've produced enough content, enough stars. We going towards 500 episodes. Right. So just based off of that alone, nigga, you know how much value is just in that IP alone? Right. Nigga, like you said, look what Friends is worth. Look what Seinfeld is worth. Niggas ain't got half the amount of episodes we got.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Everything that you think is a success, look at what we've done over the years. Look at all the millionaires we done made and produced. And so when you know the value of something, even when they try to act like it ain't value, we don't know, we're gonna move you to this network. It's not. You can play the games if you want to, give it back. Right. Watch what I do with it. Right. And that's where they don't want us to know how much power is in it, but the power is in us. Right. That's why what y'all built with 85 South is like, keep going, cause you quietly showing them bigger studios and networks that you don't need them. Right. That your fans gonna come with you wherever you go. Right. It's great to see y'all on TV, but they also gonna follow you over here, and they gonna come see you in their city. Right. They're gonna wear your merch, and that's the stuff that's magic in a bottle. You can't get that every day from every
a lot of responsibility, though.
Hell yeah.
I think that's the part that people don't talk about. Like, cause I know, like, in the space of Wildin' Out, we done been through trans. You done been Nick Cannon the whole time, but we didn't develop nigga. Ain't nobody know who Chico Bean was in season 5, or like Carlos Miller to who we are now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've seen when the environment be a certain way, and then you walk in the room and everybody's changed. Everybody start doing something different. And everybody, how do you navigate that? Because when you had that type of power and you walk in the room and everybody was doing what they maybe wanted to be doing, and then you walk in and they start doing some other shit in front of you, like, how do you know who's there? How do you navigate people in that regard?
Cause you've been seeing them since the jit.
I mean, it's one of them things, man. It's chess. You gotta they're gonna expose themselves. They're gonna move how they wanna move. And some people gonna show you how solid they are. And you just gravitate towards that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is putting on their best representative. And ultimately, you come across a nigga like this, who no matter what room he in, he gonna always be the same nigga. Right. Even when it's inappropriate. This nigga be cussing out the motherfucking cameraman and the tech.
But they loved me.
And they
want to hear this shit.
Yeah, but then there's a nigga where we all thinking the same thing, but I play the game a little bit more. I know how to, I'm gonna strategically tell you the same shit he telling you, but I'm gonna do it in a way to where you feel like it's at least politically correct. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, now I'm at a stage where I ain't even gotta say shit, like you saying.
See?
Like now, my presence speaks for itself.
Right.
So when I walk in the room, the aura is gonna make you either straighten up or have to back off because it's like, oh yeah, he probably really don't fuck with me because I'm on some bullshit and he can sense it. So like like spiritually, that's where I've been trying to, get to where now I ain't even gotta say shit. I just walk in the room and people know what it is.
Yeah.
But can we set the record straight, man? Right here on motherfucker, I'm straight. I can't be that high.
He's scared of weed.
I'm scared of weed. I'll be too high sometimes. Set the record straight right here, right now,
Let's do
face
it.
to face for the motherfucking world, man. Because I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired of asking this goddamn question. You did not fire Carlos.
Nah, can we tell you all want to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Tell the
Yeah,
fucking
we
truth,
been
man.
yes. We,
Tell the
Because
truth.
Tell
before
the
you
truth.
answer,
Everybody be watching this like,
before
God
you
damn,
answer,
this is the question I really
before
want to
you
see.
answer, I speak from the. I've never been fired,
Right.
but we have been done in a way to where it's like, damn, like what has a nigga been doing on these script? Like,
No, tell
I'm
the
not
truth.
the nigga. I'm
Tell
not the
the
nigga.
truth. I
I'm not-
want to know the truth.
No, I'm
And
not.
not only that,
Nigga,
I
listen,
can't
I'm
wait
not
to
the
tell you.
nigga. You know my person. I'm not the nigga to be like, nigga, run the tape back. You got me fucked up. But they put you in a position where it's like, nigga, is that what I get? Do I gotta show up and be the nigga that I can be and be ignorant to make a motherfucker realize that, or do I just have to say my feelings hurt? Because when you know that you put this shit down in a certain way, and a motherfucker just be like, well, we'll see. You'll see what? And we be like, nigga, because you remember when Los was gone, we both had conversations like, nigga, this shit feels strange, Nick. What we gonna do?
He came to Nick and said,
To
"Man,
Nick,
we
to
would cut
you,
our
like, bruh,
picture,
nah,
then
like,
bring our
please,
brother
whatever
back."
we gotta do to get this nigga back here, cause the environment ain't the same. Like, who do that? Who the fuck is the person or the people that be like, fuck us like that?
Man, I told y'all for the game. I'm glad y'all even already laid it out there because y'all already talked about the origin in this conversation already. When we was on that motherfucking tour bus, and I told y'all niggas, go get lawyers.
Right.
That's exactly where that shit starts. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. This whole motherfucking world is ran by attorneys. Like, y'all go home and watch the motherfucking Devil's Advocate, or y'all already at home.
Yeah.
Watch that shit with Al
That's a
Pacino
dope
and
movie.
Keanu Reeves. Like, when the people who speaking that legalese and talking that shit, they the ones that run all of this shit. And if you got a good, solid lawyer rocking with you that ain't in the pockets of the other motherfuckers, because that's where even your lawyers
To be playing both
be on some
sides.
snake shit because they've been cool with the corporate lawyers and all them people since back in law school.
Right.
And they all under the same entity,
Right.
so they all got the same oaths and beliefs and all of that shit. So that's the groundwork. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I have to deal with every single season. Every single season they tell me I gotta cut the budget. And I figure out how the ways to maneuver, cause again, they don't want a nigga to know his value. Even though our shit steady rising, they gonna try to find something. They gonna tell me, well, you know, your 3 a.m. shows aren't really rating as much as well. Nigga, don't give a fuck about that. We know what the numbers is doing online.
Right.
So, again, we let them they give us a number. And again, you know, it's motherfuckers' jobs to keep telling you a lower number. So, and that's every season. So the goal is they always want to seem like they got more power. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of people who ain't there no more, who were in positions of power, that would say stuff that like, everybody's replaceable. You know what I mean? Like, and just, you're like, all right, well, that ain't the brand I'm rocking with.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying because of what we built, you know, nobody's bigger than a brand.
Right.
You know, we really trying to get to it. So as this loud, outspoken motherfucker has always been from day
Somebody
one,
ass out.
he probably said, I don't even know. Like, again, I don't know, but you know, he didn't have too many friends in higher places to say, but he looked like somebody that was, as they considered a troublemaker. And y'all remember there's been incidents where people would get. Now, I'm not just saying you, but there would be certain, we'd have to have conversations with HR because we might have said something about a certain community, or we might have said something, a joke or something that made someone uncomfortable and they went and complained about or again, smoking or whatever. It's always, if you get, just like at any job, if somebody writes you up too many times, now you won't notice. They paying attention and you get the jacket of a rabble rouser, or a troublemaker. That's just, and you know, we all been there, but he was probably one of the more louder ones.
Right.
So when he
the
came
gate.
up, and again,
Man,
we gonna keep it a stack.
keep it a stack.
When everybody, at no point did anybody say we don't want Carlos, we don't want GD. We all have representation. And when the way it got back to me and a couple other executives is, when it's time to renegotiate for your deal, Carlos, people rightly so, was like, Carlos don't want that deal. Carlos want more money. Carlos want it, like, as his all of our representatives have shown us. And even based off of as we sit here right now, they value all of us differently.
Right.
And I'm the only one, I get to see everything.
Right.
But, even at the time, he got holding deals, he doing other shows, he doing MTV movies. So they value DC differently. So they'll say, well, as long as we got DC, we're good. And but we all want to be good. And then it's like, so then I get put in a weird position. I'm like, but I don't do the bullshit. It's like, I want everybody back. Even the niggas Carlos don't like. I want everybody to get it. Cause I know my budget is larger. And I can move it around. I get niggas more episodes. Cause if I say, cause like right now, our cast members, they try to get me down to 6-on-6 and with the team captain. So it's really, including myself, it's 7-on-7. Y'all remember there's been seasons where it's been
13 on 13.
Right.
Because I'm like, I can maneuver it around as much as I want to.
Right.
So when they were like, all right, well, we're gonna send everybody's deals out and we're gonna see who comes back. This shit even happened this season. When niggas don't come talking back the way they like it, they was like, oh, he doesn't want to do it anymore. And that's how it got. There's like, Carlos isn't signing his deal. And I'm like, and I'm in the same position y'all niggas. I almost didn't come down to this motherfucker until they got my money right. So as much as I'm gonna hold it down and be like, but they do me the same way. And I gotta hold tight, stand on my square and be like, nah, I ain't coming until you get and I see the numbers. I know what everybody get. I know the value. So in those situations when, again, you got the people demand, we knew we wanted Lowe's back, but when the people, and y'all remember when the nigga came back and we was all standing outside by the trailers and like, yeah, I don't know why Nick didn't want you. Motherfucker, come over here and say that shit that you know how it is. Like, that's never how it plays.
I'm gonna tell everybody, Nick cried when I came back, y'all. He cried when I came back.
Did y'all see the episode?
Nah, fuck the episode. It was before the camera came on.
Yeah, the nigga hid in my dressing room.
Yeah.
And Nick cried. Ain't want nobody
But
to
that
know.
was one of the funnest episodes ever.
That shit was lit.
That was one of the because when he came out, this is probably the only time we've done this, as I know, for speaking from our perspective, because that's the thing that from my vantage point that always makes me say, well, damn, where does the credit come in for the type of people that we are in the environment and understanding it was necessary? Because if we wanted to, we could just go out there and just, I'm talking about berate motherfuckers. And wouldn't be nothing nobody could do. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, it wouldn't be nothing that could be done. But we understand the structure of this a team sport. So we understand that it's like, man, we got to make everybody look good. Hey, bro, don't do this, don't do that. Do this, do that. But that day when that nigga came back, we was like, nigga, get the fuck out the way. Move! If you don't do this shit at the highest level, sit down and watch, nigga.
Right.
That was it.
That's the same episode y'all got out of my little brother.
Rubber shoes, yeah.
That nigga's famous in the hood, them big ass feet down.
All the way.
On that boy, that day, boy.
They designed them Astro boots after that nigga.
He was the only one that had the heart to step up and do something. Everybody else was like,
because gang was back together.
Gang is back together.
Yeah, because that's the part of it that's mean the most to us. It's like that shit. Like, nigga, that's the part where we be like, man, how do y'all not understand that this
because
is
we entertain each other. When I see them go up, I be like, what the hell this nigga finna say, man? When he go up, I be like, I know that nigga Chico got something clever to say. And when I go up, I look at them, I get confirmation. They be like, nigga,
but
I don't give a fuck what you do.
But y'all the living example of solid. Like, even all the shit we talking about, nigga, you ain't never seen no niggas root for each other like y'all root for each other. Like, on some, like, damn near some Rat Pack type shit, and even them niggas broke up. You know what I mean? Like, y'all niggas really want to see each other win, and understand y'all go all over this fucking world, every city, state, and just vibe off of each other. Name another nigga, the kings of comedy didn't fuck with each other.
Exactly.
Like, them niggas was beefing backstage.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas really fuck with each other, man. And people, the world has watched you get it out the mud.
Right.
And still keep it in the trap and still show loyalty and love. Like, I ain't never, even niggas who done, from D-boys to rappers, all them niggas break up. So I'm saying, y'all niggas can't never break up, nigga, because y'all on some shit where you literally are in front of the world a living example of what solid shit look like.
Right, that's fact.
Like, no, 85 South, that shit is about unity. Like, y'all niggas turned the whole fucking interstate into a gang.
It's a community unity.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, like the same way you say we fuck with each other, I can say genuinely, bro, we fuck with you.
Man, that's
like,
love.
That's real.
Like, bro, we fuck with you. Like, niggas is like,
That's love.
niggas is like we really love you, Slim. Like, if we never did another episode of Wildin' Out, like the fact that you was willing to stand next to that shit is the most
For that
amazing
long.
shit ever.
Nigga,
Like, nigga,
a
this
decade, nigga.
That long. That long.
that you did, all of the shit that you done throughout the years and stood next to us and said, all right, nigga, when you had Mariah, we was telling all them, sit y'all ass down, nigga, y'all ain't doing no
We got
work.
work in the morning, nigga. We gotta be on
Yeah,
set, nigga.
nah, but yeah, it's my last day tomorrow, nigga, so I ain't fuck it, you know what I mean? Y'all niggas be there.
I'll be there.
We
Nigga.
ain't get y'all together. Fuck
No.
it, yo, let's do it.
Yeah.
You can stay some more days? Yeah, nigga. All right, nigga, come back. Like, y'all three gotta be together.
Please. I mean, I wish you'd tell the network that.
Yeah, but
Nigga, see, like,
yeah,
they be
you
doing
say that now,
shit.
we gonna get it in
So
tomorrow.
now
Our next run of this
let's keep it a
goddamn
stack,
mouth,
though.
I understand how it
No,
goes.
let's keep it that. I gotta pay for that. But I want to see that work.
Figured that.
You got a lot of money.
And that's what I'm saying. I just invited the nigga to be on the episodes.
Well, that means we're going to have to charge you a lot more because we know you got more than you can
Nah,
spend.
that's
That's why that big nigga right there.
You
But-
have,
Before you go, Nick, I
You
gotta
have
ask
so
you
much
this, man.
money.
I gotta ask you this. We do gotta, cause we'll be in here, nigga, forever.
Forever.
But like, I'm a big, like proponent of what you said about the freedom of, you know, being able to say what you want and manipulating the media before
Right.
you, like,
Before they get you.
before they get you. But like, Los always say shit to me, like all the time. He said, "Man, I wish Chico I would go on shit and say ridiculous shit like you be saying, nigga. You know how much shit you avoiding by saying the shit you say out loud. But for you, nigga, you take it to another level. Like I got on the Breakfast Club and said, I don't never want to be married or be in no relationship. And I'd have been saying this shit for years.
Right.
But when I said it on the Breakfast Club, nigga, you should have seen the comments, and I'm talking about, it was crazy. Nigga, you be saying shit, and I be like, bruh, this is beyond honesty. Like, this nigga gotta be fucking with somebody. Like, what is you, as best as you can explain before we roll, what is your perspective on relationships with women?
Oh shit, nigga, we gonna be here. That's another episode. I gotta come back.
Well,
But
I'm talking about lead into the next episode.
It's energy, man. At the end of the day, whatever makes you happy, I that's what I offer. You know what I mean? And luckily, God has aligned me and blessed me to be able to do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it, and can't nobody tell me nothing. So when it comes to love, I offer, I'm 100% from the gate. I can say, yo, I can elevate you. I can take you to places you ain't never been before, but you gotta trust me. And it's gonna be a different level of freedom, like to where I'm so confident in who I am, and hopefully the woman I'm dealing with is so confident in who she is that we can operate on some new shit, and we don't gotta get stuck in these old school traditional colonialism type of scenarios. So I'm like, look, you move how you want to move, I move how I want to move, but I'm gonna be offering so much, I'm gonna be so much of a protector and a provider that you ain't gonna miss a step. And then so from there, you don't everybody don't go for the shit.
Right.
You know, but I gotta take those sacrifices that pretty much like, all right, we had time on this planet at a certain frequency where we was vibing, but you want different things out of life. The women who want the white picket fences and, you know, the monogamy, they're amazing women for a certain type of nigga.
Right.
I want somebody who wants more than that. I don't want somebody who wants ownership. I want somebody who can grow and build some shit together.
I've been saying this shit for years. I've been seeing this shit for years, motherfucker.
And your jewelry looking like they starting to believe
calling
you.
me crazy. No, this is not. Ain't got nothing to do with that, nigga. That's a bill. But like to hear you say that at the level that you at, it's like, you know what I mean? Okay, there is a level you can get to as a man and not be
My
restricted.
granddaddy was like that, like his granddaddy, like it was
running our family.
But I say this to say, it's not a scenario to where it's, I mean, as Carlos would say, pimping and giving them game. It's actually real life shit.
Right.
Like it's
our culture.
That's the game.
But when I say you can be
Pimping
happier,
is just how you play it.
here you go. You can be happier over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead
That's
of trying,
pimping.
Proper information motivates people.
Hey, positive images making moves, making power moves.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But you know,
Player
we gonna get
Incorporated.
into we gonna get into
Master.
all the children and all
Everybody
that.
said
Your
they
perspective.
shit.
on that.
Part
I
two.
ain't got
We'll,
Part two.
we'll,
We-
we'll
this
say
is
that for the
About
next
the
one.
ladies and all
No,
that.
the next
part
time.
two.
The next time,
Hey,
man.
man, we
Too
know
high, I
you.
might say some wrong shit.
Yeah,
Man, we know
Nah,
you're
we ain't gonna let
extremely
you. We
busy.
edit it out over here. No, I'm
that shit
tripping.
over here.
Nah, we wouldn't let you say nothing crazy. We know you're extremely busy. We appreciate you stopping through here and
Yeah,
fucking with
sure.
us, man.
I love it.
We're 10 deep in there.
No,
So we're gonna be in there, honey. Nick Cannon, 85 South. Let's get a picture right quick before we wrap up.
Ow.
Craig Ferguson goes in search of joy in talks with actors, doctors, stand-ups, and scientists. Everyone. Is it love, religion, drugs, money? Where do you find it? Craig Ferguson, In Search of Joy, the celebrations, the dances, science, poetry, laughter, and music of joy. Don't miss it. Joy with Craig Ferguson. Hear it now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm here to help.
Does your brain keep you up at bedtime? I'm Catherine Nicolai, and my podcast, Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep, has helped millions of people to get consistent, deep sleep. My stories are family-friendly, they celebrate everyday pleasures, and train you over time to fall asleep faster with less waking in the night. Start sleeping better tonight. Listen to Nothing Much Happens, Bedtime Stories to Help You Sleep with Catherine Nicolai on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
On How Rude Tanneritos podcast, join Stephanie Tanner and Kimmy Gibbler, also known as actresses Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber, to relive every episode of Full House.
We spent our entire childhoods on a little show called Full House, playing frenemies, but becoming besties whenever the cameras weren't rolling. And now, 35 years later, it's our biggest adventure yet.
Listen to How Rude Tanneritos on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And thanks to Hyundai for being our launch partner and making this podcast possible. Hyundai, it's your journey.
The thing that I'm most nosy about is other people's finances. I just want to ask people, how much money do you make and what have you figured out about money that the rest of us haven't? I'm Maya Lau, and this is Other People's Pockets, the show where I ask people about their money because salary transparency is important and because we can all learn something from other people's financial mistakes and money hacks. Other People's Pockets is a co-production of Pushkin Industries and Little Everywhere. Listen to Other People's Pockets on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back in 1999, a young woman from South Carolina vanished. 7 years passed. She was presumed dead. Then, a tip came in.
He said, I think I found your girl, and she's alive. She's in New York. And I said, really?
The detective on the case, he didn't buy it. He came to believe that he was dealing with an imposter. Who was this woman, really? Listen to Deep Cover on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.